Hello, people. Good morning. Welcome to Niger Watch. How are you? My name is Iman. I'm reporting live from Lagos, Nigeria. It's a good day. We've come to midweek. We've come to midweek. Weekend is upon us. Oh, weekend is around the corner. Yay! How are you people doing? I'd like to know how you're doing today. Today is a beautiful day here in Lagos, Nigeria. The weather is it's bright out there. It's beautiful. It's friendly too. Yesterday was very hot. We hope for a better day in Lagos and we hope for a better day in Nigeria as a whole. How are you, my people? How are you doing? If I say I miss you guys, you might not believe me, but I do. Sunday Ogoma, good morning to you, sir. How you doing? Onwuka Ebuka Collins Ebuka say good morning to you too, Mr. Onwuka. How you doing? Iye not J, one of Germany. Good morning to you too, ma. Osagovo. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you for joining today's broadcast. Kisses right back to you. Thank you very much. Mommy Diaspora, mommy of all mommies. Good morning to you, ma. Thank you for joining. Thank you for always being here, mama. Yes, support Niger Watch. Change the narratives for good through our GoFundMe account. It's right there in the link on the comment section, guys. Please do the needful. Don't forget to like this broadcast, share the broadcast, invite someone. You guys know good journalism cost a whole lot. So please, guys, support us to remain unbiased. Yes. I am very sure I have Edolites watch here. Mr. Edolites, good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you for joining to this broadcast. In the comment section, you have the link if you'd like to join the broadcast. Please do the needful by clicking on the link, guys. And in a second, I will just have it right there with you. So I'm saying good morning to my panelists ahead of time because I know you guys will be here. Did you guys watch the drama that played out at the unveiling of Shetima as Tinubu's running mate? You guys saw all those choreographers that came in their costumes, right? We have to talk about that, guys. We have to talk about that. Okay. Yes, guys, I have done the needful. In the comment section, just posted the link for this broadcast. So that there is for my panelists. Johnson Emmanuel, good morning to you. Yes, good morning to you. You know, I first of all saw at Mommy Diaspora, good morning. And I'm like, Justin, what is my own greeting? And it's just there. Good morning to you, Justin Emmanuel. How are you doing? Thank you for joining to this broadcast. Stella Oresoya, Madam Stella, thank you. You have become a face, no, you have become a name to reckon with. I always look forward to see you. And thank you for your inputs always. You always drop it hot. You always drop it hot. Thank you for joining to this broadcast, Madam Stella. Mary Kimade, good morning to you. How are you doing? Madam Stella, yes, so APC are actors but not smart at all. I agree with you. Okay, guys, let me dive into let's go straight to the business of the day. Our first paper for today is Tribune. Can disowns bishops who attended Shetima's unveiling. I carry burden of trust, declares Shetima. El-Rufai, Uzodima, Ayade, Umahi absent. They were absent at the unveiling of Shetima. I told you guys that APC has a very visible crack with this running mate. It doesn't sit well with both those in and out of the party. And, you know, like PDP, let's see how much damage that this crack would do to the party. Don't sabotage these tickets. Abdullahi cautions power blocks in APC. I don't know, the same way they tried to sabotage that of PDP. Well, congratulations in order as Senator Adeleke receives certificate from INEC. That's a win for both PDP and for the Adeleke. This was quite an emotional one, you know, like the whole family supported this, and Let that same spirit, thrive in us. Let that same spirit thrive in us. Come the 2023 presidential election, protesters storm APC secretariat. Shetima, Zulum meet Buhari in Aso Rock. Moving on to the riders. Two policemen returning from Oshun missing after shootout with gunmen. This is from Kogi CP. So where are they? So they were kidnapped, they were killed. So nobody knows about their whereabouts, if they've been kidnapped, if they've been killed, or nobody knows. Nobody knows. And their weapons. Blackout as national grid collapses again. No, I'm not the one that's saying the again. The again is actually there in the news, guys. Our power grid, our national grid. What is happening? Everybody just left their sector to go and be doing what they should not be doing. They've now become campaign directors. Look at Sanwo-Olu. Look at Lagos. Flood is killing people left and right in Lagos. Sanwo-Olu is protocoling his father. You people know what I want to say. Tinubu. Mr. Kennedy is saying Federal Republic of Comedy. Mr. Kennedy, I've not always agreed with you on this, but I can't be mad every day. So today I choose to laugh at the headlines. Okay, Oshun, Adeleke gets certificate of return. Appeal court affirms him as PDP candidate. This was easy. What was Oyetola thinking? Taking 50 lawyers to the appeal court to go and contest the result. A result that was monitored by everybody, that was televised and everything. He sure doesn't have faith in this government. He sure doesn't have faith in this government. Okay, guys. Zamfara State Governor bans Emas from conferring traditional titles. There's something about Governor Matawali, right? It's proven to be quite different and to not be among them. When this news broke out, the president who has given his word to say he's fighting corruption, is giving the military everything that they need, of giving them charge to wipe out, shoot or sight, all of those. And you get to know that a notorious criminal was stop banned in a particular place, time, day, everything, and you've not done anything. You've not given presidential order for the person to be. Nobody's saying anything about this person. Is it still a turbaned is it still turbaned? Does it still hold the office? Has it been disbanded? What's the follow-up? They are only punishing the person that did it. And to think that they had security on that day. My people. Let's not join Mr. Kennedy in saying Federal Republic of Comedy. I really hope that all of this script that is playing out, they just stop it already, because this cannot be real. This just has to be a script somewhere, and somebody is going to say, "Cut, enough, we are done shooting this movie in Nigeria," because this just has to be a movie. This cannot be our reality. Nigerian Airlines raise alarm over aviation fuel price hike, foreign exchange scarcity. Guys, see, every time I come here and I read about the hike in the airline, 2 million naira for economy. 2 million naira. So business is going to be how much? Guys, you think this does not affect you? Don't you people travel? You don't have people that travel. Do you not travel? This news concerns everybody, even the one that they want to regulate water. I'm saying let's put our hands together and say no. The 5% surcharge that the airlines are saying they need to take it out. We need to put our hands. Whether you've seen an aeroplane before, you've not seen an aeroplane, whether you're in the country or you're not in the country, you see, you just cannot exempt yourself from things like this, right? So please, guys, let's raise our voice together. Okay. Yes, that's about the Nigerian Airlines. We have importance grown as port workers shut down APM terminals, cripple container operations. Every sector, guys. I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record. For subsidy, rep summon minister FIRS boss others to account for 2017 to 2021 regime. Now there is I don't know the integrity of the people that are summoned, because you see this particular sector, this particular sector, we need someone of integrity, of great integrity, right? And people who knows their onions. These are the people that we need to take on this particular sector. It was estimated that we use, okay, for example, these are not actual numbers, but for example, say, okay, some people are coming out to say 80, we use 80 million BPD, that's barrel per day. uh but another body is coming out to say we use 150 million BPD per day, barrel per day, right? And also it doesn't correlate. So if a first statement came out saying we use 80 million barrel per day, where's the 150? Who has added 150 and incurred much more money into this? So who's made? A lot of people are cashing out from this. Ah. And these people, when you want to address them, their title, you're going to say things like honorable. Come on, you guys are far from being honorable. Not at your duty, not your personal life, man. Proposed NLC solidarity protest for ASU illegal. That is from federal government. Federal government, instead of looking out for what is illegal or what is not illegal, why not? Why? So you really expect parents to sit back and watch their words, not go to school? That's not going to happen. They have to do something. Unfortunately, they're also there in LSC, they are there in the banking sector, they are there in aviation. These people have children. And unlike you people, not all of them have the money to send their kids abroad. So these people are, not necessarily even doing this because we're honestly, these are concerned parents. These are concerned parents. Mr. Israel Asemota, hi, good morning to you, sir. How is Pluto today, Mr. Israel? I take it very personally when people come on my broadcast and will not, say something to me, refer something to me, like say, as Ima, hi, please do so, Mr. Israel. I'd like to hear from you. All right, guys, that's it. NAS is also mobilizing for a nationwide protest. I think they will only just leverage on this as to attack to not to attack. I take that back. I think they will use ASU, they will just use that as a yardstick to vent, because every other sector is down, shut down, has fallen, has collapsed. People are not doing what they should be doing. And surprisingly, these people are always in one meeting or the other, surprisingly. And yeah, nothing good comes out of it. Nothing productive comes out of these meetings. We'll go to the next paper, and that's Daily Sun. Presidential election must win for APC. That's from Tinubu. Officially present Shetima as running mate. Supporters claim Oshuguba polls lost lesson to party members. Kennedy Son's bishops at Shetima's unveiling says stand on same faith ticket irreversible. Let's go. That's our Khan. They are reputable people. I think it was Johnson Emmanuel that said yesterday that whatever Khan says they will do, that is what they say they will do. And it's good to see that, the remnants that has faith in them, they've not been disappointed. Guys, I've been talking for say 60 minutes now. Come on, guys, let's do the needful. Let's like this broadcast. Let's do the needful. If you're not liking this, it means I'm not doing a good job here. If I'm doing a good job, I'll be it little, guys. Please support me. Support me with your likes. Right now, support me with your likes, please. Okay. Blackout anxiety as national grid records sixth collapse in this year. Oh, they did not put this year, but this year alone, every month power grid is failing every month. You guys, I mean, this is what, seventh? We are in the seventh month and it has collapsed 6 times. Come on, what are they doing? Osun governor-elect deputy, okay, Osun governor-elect deputy receives certificate of return. Appeal court affirms Adeleke's candidacy. I don't know. There's something about this particular election that I don't know, but I think I'm glad that I think I'm glad. Yes, not. I think I am actually glad that this happened, and they won. Um, in particular, they won because it looks like the people are happy with the person that is there. So I'm happy that the people are happy for who won the election, and I'm hoping that that same spirit, travels all through every other election and until the main one, the presidential election. I hope the Nigerians will be, happier than the people of Osun State on that day. Gunmen storm varsity hostel. Gunmen gunmen storm varsity hostel, abduct students in Cross River, kidnaps Edo APC stalwarts, Oshu banker regain freedom. Now, this will be two people kidnapped Edo APC stalwarts and Oshun Baker regained freedom. Silver, others absent as reps begin fuel subsidy probe. Mhm. They should not come and tell us that silver is now sick. Because when once probing starts, that is when you begin to see all form of sicknesses and all that's happening to these people. I really, really hope that we are not going to start hearing things like that. Everybody needs to come out and answer. Yes, they need to come out and answer. This is, I think, the explosion that the explosion or the explosion that is no, it's exposure. It's exposure. The exposure that is going to come out from this, I think these people are not ready for it. I don't think they're going to be sincere. This for subsidy probe. They're not going to be sincere. Justin Emmanuel is saying the Oshu election was free and fair. There is nothing to dispute, absolutely. They just don't want to concede their defeat, which which is very, very paramount to these people. Yeah. Stella Oresanya is saying, does Tinubu even acknowledge God? It says APC must win. How? With every negativity around APC party. Someone said, I think it was you, Madam Stella, who said that APC has done so much bad, so much dirt to Nigerians that they shouldn't even come out to even campaign. They shouldn't be campaigning. They should just hide their face in shame. Or watch the interview where the APC chairman, Abdullahi, he was being interviewed after the Osun State election, and victory had been awarded to PDP and Adeleke. And when he was being interviewed, aside from the thing that when he was asked how he felt about not winning, losing the election, he said he wasn't sure that he was hearing it for the first time, and INEC had not gotten back to him. Then he was also asked that, what would he contribute? What would he say that his government, his party has done, being in government, has done, in this, all of this, almost 7 years now? And then the interviewer went on to say a lot of things that is happening. Well, the interviewer just made him to realize or brought to his notice the things that are happening, the banditry, the terrorism, the everything happening in this government. And he had this face, he had I need you guys to be on the same page with me. He had this look like even he knew that they had messed up and they shouldn't be there. But of course, now he just had to pull up his sleeve and continue with his job. Sadly, so indeed, I agree that they shouldn't even be contesting. They should come out and give a national apology to Nigerians, and that should be it. Okay, customs impounds bales of acidic second-hand clothes. That's on page 26 if you'd like to know more about this story. Custom impounds bales of acidic second-hand clothes. ASU, federal government declares NSC's proposed solidarity protest illegal. So with this, you guys know that you have police on the streets and they would want to. No, they're coming out. Police already said, write to us if you want to protest, right? NLC said they won't write that. It is unnecessary and it is not constitutional for somebody to write ahead to say that they want to protest. That is their right and they will exercise their freedom. And now the presidency has come out to say that NLC's proposed solidarity strike is illegal. Guys, let's talk about this, right? I won't. I won't. I won't solely rely on the comments from the comment section, right? So if you'd like to air your opinion, you have a thing or two to say, guys. I shared the link already. You have the link in the comment section. If you want us to discuss this, please come on to use the link and get right here with me because I'm waiting for you. Mr. Juden, good day to you, sir. Thank you for joining today's broadcast. How are you?
Hey Emma, how are you? Good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning, sir. I'm well, thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Have
Welcome.
you been following the story from the start?
No, just the last paper that you reviewed was where I joined. The last paper that you just reviewed, it's in the
Okay,
Tribune. Oh.
okay. So I don't want us to pick the usual because it looks like I don't know how we are going to get headway of the insecurity and everything that is happening. But let's talk about let's talk about which of the stories should we take first? Okay, NLC initially Nupeng, NLC, NANS, even the banks and the airlines, they've said that they are going to join ASO solidarity march, protest, go on a solidarity strike for ASU. They are also negating that ASU should be tended to give ASU what they want so that the pupils can go back to school. And now federal government has come out to say that solidarity strike is illegal. And that's a way of shutting. Oh, sorry. That's a way of shutting them out of this or making them back out of this. But what's your take on this, Mr. Juden?
What? You see, there is no, there's no less anybody should expect from this current administration. Because where you have a president of a country like Nigeria, who is uneducated, who is a stark illiterate, and moreover, someone who does not value education and even their religion, and that is even why they are, even they are sponsored terrorist organizations all over Nigeria, does not believe in education, like Boko Haram. I'm sure all of us know what Boko Haram is. Western education is fine. So you can't expect any less than what is going on now. Uh, Our children have been at home for the past since February. If it were to be in an advanced country, this Nigeria education system would have been in an emergency situation right now. They would have declared a state of emergency regarding the education if this were to be in an ideal country. How would you expect children to be at home because lecturers have been on strike for over 4 months now, and the president of that country have done nothing, and yet he still have not even resigned? That's enough for president to resign, to quit from office, because he's incompetent. It all boils down to his incompetence and his incompetence and lackadaisical attitude towards the uh, education of its own citizens. For any country in this world to progress and to develop, you have to educate your citizens. You have to educate the citizen. Without that, there is just no way that any country can develop. There's no way. So any country that negates the education of their children, of their citizens, in other words, it's like saying we don't want to develop. Okay, so education has a direct correlation with advancement in science, in technology, in every sphere. And then we are led by people, a section of Nigeria, who never values in education, who never values education, who don't care about it. Okay, it's very sad. A country where politicians could spend billions in buying votes. In that same country, lecturers have been asking for, they're not even asking only for their, I don't even know all that they're asking, but as usual, lecturers will not only be asking, or ASU will not only be asking for their salaries or increment in their salaries or anything. I'm sure they are asking for more important things, which includes a conducive environment to be able to teach, funding of schools so that schools will be able to have adequate infrastructures, laboratories equipped so that children will be exposed to well-equipped labs and classrooms so that they'll be able to learn. They are not asking for money to put in their pocket as politicians are there in Abuja stealing our money. No, that's not what they're asking. And yet they abandoned them. They didn't even care about them, and they're telling them it's illegal. That's even the worst and the most absurd part of it, telling them it's illegal. How is it illegal? It's a right. They have the right of unionization. It's part of democracy. You have the right of association to promote a common cause. I am not a lawyer, but at least I know well enough to know that what they are doing is within the premise of our legal construct in Nigeria. So they should put their, I wouldn't even say they should put their ass in order, because we have a, government that is so daft, that is very inept, that is, that I don't even know whether the physical obstruction of his hearing is also affecting his brain, that he don't even know what is happening in the country that he governs. That is the truth. Buhari don't even know what's going on in Nigeria. That is why when something happens, I don't know. Oh, is this thing happening? Imagine somebody who does not even go out from Abuja to see what is going on in the country that he governs. He stays in Abuja. Everybody goes to Abuja to see him. All the idiots, including the stupid politicians and governors, go to Abuja to pay obeisance, to bow down and kiss his ass so that he'll give them money.
Mr. Chudin.
Anyway, my dear.
Thank you for your submission, Mr. Chudin. I just would like to clarify on a thing, right? The use of strong languages are prohibited here. We like to leave our conversations very clean and very responsible too. Please try to remember that always. Please. Thank you very much.
Well, I think my conversation, except we live in a country like Nigeria where people cannot express their feeling. Expressing your feeling, you're expressing yourself in whatever language you deem fit, is still within the democratic norm, except only in Nigeria where we are led by dictators.
Yes. Why I agree with you on that, Mr. Jordan. If I need to call you out on something, I don't have to, use curse words like, stupid, mad, and all of this.
My dear, our leaders, they deserve everything we throw at them because they don't care about any human being.
I believe you on that. I say that, but because of the platform we are also using, we just have to.
Okay, I understand. I'm sorry, okay?
No problem. Nothing to be sorry about. I just needed you to know that. Thank you. But yes, we feel that way. When I started this morning, I said, well, that I refuse to be mad. I say that because every day reading these headlines, you just want to punch the wall. But then again, you just have to put yourself together and share love nonetheless, right? So I very much
I don't know if you notice in that paper you were reviewing, it says something that gunmen, even if they have deliberately refused to call terrorists, they say gunmen went into a school and adopt, is it a university or a hostel, and adopt children.
In Cross River. Okay?
In Cross River. That is another one again that has happened.
Honestly.
And look at that. If it were to be in an advanced and ideal society, that should have taken a bold headline, but they put it in tiny words so that people will ignore it. Just like almost in Nigeria now, things like that, everybody has become numb to it, including the bloodshed that goes on in Nigeria. Almost every Nigerian has become numb. Nobody even cares again about the blood.
No, Mr. Jordan, I don't think it's a function of people not caring. This is a touching people. When something happens, we in Africa, we have very, very large families, right? So it might not be my sister, it could be my cousin, it could be my relative, it could be it's affecting people. It goes beyond just a family of 4, family of 5. It extends, it touches people. People are concerned. If the president of the country is doing nothing about it, the likes of Mr. Kennedy would say, follow the constitution and all of that. And that's why I keep asking. But when the constitution is not protecting you, The constitution is not even being
Does
used.
Nigeria have a constitution? Nigeria have no constitution. What Nigeria have is operating on is on decree handed over to them by Abdusalami and some crazy gang he put together. Who knew the day they sat together to put together that decree? How many alcohol or that they must have taken and then put forward and hand over to who was that? Who took over from them? Is it Obasanjo? And since then, they have been operating on what they call constitution that ought to be a decree handed over by the military. We don't have Nigeria does not have a constitution. What we have is just a simple decree.
All right, Mr. Judin, thank
Decree.
you for your contributions. I'll come back to you, right? Um, okay, someone was asking what the real problem is. We kind of talked about that last week, but yeah, it is again. So ASU met with the Ministry of Labor and the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Mr. Judin.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Judin, please, your mic should only be muted when you are giving contributions, so that it doesn't distract the program from background noise and all of that. Thank you, sir. So ASU met with Ministry of Labor and Employment, Chris Igige, and they had the talk. They wanted some things to be in place, from their salary to things that they needed in school. Another one that is of note is that okay, so they met with them. ASU met with them. When they were done, they had agreed on these things that ASU had tabled, right? Then it went on to have the same meeting with four other university bodies. That's like the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities. That's SSANU, and Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, and National Association of Academic Technologies, that's NAAT, met, and they sat down with all of these university bodies with ASU. Now that's five, right? And they said, okay, this is what ASU is asking for. Is it fair? Does it make sense? They had that talk and they agreed upon it. And they said from next week that it will be inculcated. From next week, it's changes will happen, all of that. And now that did not happen. And in all of this, you have talks about their salary, their welfare, and all of that. Now, none of that has been put in place. None of that has been put in place. Another thing that they said that they demanded that they want their own means of payment, right? That they don't want to use the one that the government put in charge for them. They have something better. The one government put in charge for them was IPPIS, but they want the UTAS. That's the method that they want to use and all of that. But since 2009 till now, none of that has been reviewed. Not the welfare, not their salary, not the means, none of the things that was discussed. So for every time they come out and say, okay, you guys have not done what you said you would do, and they are going on a strike, of course, they get the warning strike first, right? Before they go into strike. They still don't get to do those things till now. So it's safe to say they've not even had a review of their salaries. And I don't know why things like this take time. It took a long time before the judges' salaries even got increased, and giving the right. The former chief CJN, he said there was no money. That was what he said. But meanwhile, Senate was always passing out money for that course and all of that. So you see, these are the problems that we are having in places like this. And if they really look into this, there is somebody in either ASU or one of these bodies who is just siphoning this. But okay, I wouldn't want to talk for them though. But Johnson, this is what you asked, right? This is they are not agreeing to. They are not. The government are not keeping to their own part of the bargain. Now that is where the problem is. And now the government, they need to come out and, instead of agreeing, that's the problem. Instead of agreeing, why not come out and say, see, Nigeria is not making as much money as it used to. I mean, we all do know this. Foreign investors are packing up and they're leaving. Even home-based businesses, they are packing up and they are going. So Nigeria is not making as much money. The oil that we are using, I think that's the only thing that we are surviving on. Our farmers are not going to farm anymore. Money is not circulating in Nigeria. Somebody said that yesterday. Why is money not circulating? Things are not happening. The small businesses that people are even trying to manage, they are frustrating them. Have you seen the light bill of a business place? It's like your house. It's like the rent. It's like the rent. And this light bill is 1 month though. Somebody's bringing 400, 200, 500. That's for just one. And the light in Nigeria is epileptic. For lights we know day. It's short. That's why when some of this I don't know how you guys call them, but please let me use home-based name. When NEPA goes to an area, right? Sometimes they beat them up because people are angry and frustrated. When I know they give us lights, and you're bringing such outrageous bill, and you have the guts to bring your ladder to come and cut my lights. You know, so are the problems. Emmanuel, if that has answered your question, Mr. Tunaija,
Can I say okay?
Mr. Tunaija, good day to you, sir. Thank you for joining today's broadcast. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you, Emma? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't. Sorry, I'm not very. I don't remember the name. I really apologize for that. Please educate me on your name again properly.
Ima.
Ima. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I hope you are doing okay, Ima.
Yes, Mr. Tunaija, I'm doing okay. What happened to you yesterday? You were not here with me yesterday.
Sometimes one has to earn a living, and we have to run around to chase money
All right.
now.
All right, Mr.
So
Tunaija. Thank you for joining today's broadcast. If you've been following the news headlines, you could please make your submission.
I'm not very sympathetic. I don't know. Maybe you're aware of it already with the strikes and the federal government. I believe that both sides have conspired to mess our country up. We have over about 1 point something million youths are sitting at home right now because of these people. And when I look at the list, how many times the ASU has gone on strike, it's just unbelievable, remarkable how these people do this constantly. Like almost every year they are going on strike. And they don't go on short strikes too. It's not like a Western strike where they do for 2 days, 3 days. These guys go on strike for 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And in the list, it's like almost every single year they are going on strike. And these groups have turned to a kind of how do I put it, insidious force that they are using to corrode the society. It's a very, very nasty thing. What is going on there is not right. Those people are worse, right? They are, for me right now, they are actually worse than Boko Haram. They are doing so much damage that they don't seem to care.
Oh my
Because
God.
they may not be. No. Let me tell you why. Boko Haram kills people, burns buildings. These people are responsible for millions of people, millions of lives. Boko Haram is not responsible for millions of lives. These people are responsible for millions of lives, and they constantly. Not Boko Haram. When did they start? These ones have been there since 1999, and if you go even further back, they've been doing it forever. Boko Haram, they kill 100 here, 200 here, that there. The lives, you see, when nations don't grow, when nations are not educated every year, do you know how many lives that are lost because of that? How many doctors that are not coming out because of it? How many people give up education because of it? The consequences of that is often greater than what the so-called bandits and all of them are doing. And maybe that's what led us here in the first place. We see, what we see is that we don't recognize that like poverty kills. Poverty is just it's a worse killer than Boko Haram. And poverty is a friend of lack of education and lack of a system that is functioning. We just look at these things and we just say, oh, it's okay because they have a moral high ground. Because it looks like it's the federal government that breaks this thing. One of the strikes I was here, I read about here is that because some staff was reinstated, that I think maybe ASU officials sacked, they went on 3-month strike because of staff. A staff was reinstated, 46 staff was reinstated, and they went on strike. I don't know, why would you stop millions of students from their education because of squabbles between ASU and their lecturers? Some of the things we excuse is not acceptable. And in a country where we know, even on a Christmas day, on a New Year day, on a Salah day, there are people working in petrol stations. There are people this is making sure that our hospitals are functioning. There are people defending our countries. There is police. There is military. They are all not just defending and dying. They see, lecturers are not the worst. They are not the only people that are hard done by Nigeria. Nigerians, almost all Nigerians are suffering, including those students that they're keeping at home. So what makes them feel like theirs is more important than every other person suffering in Nigeria? Yes, the politicians are just very, very bad. But these are educated people. For me, with the insight that I have, and I know that this in the, what they call them, the government, they are crazy and corrupt and all the rest of it. We all know that already. Then I'm a professor. If I was at the university, I want to go on strike. I would think what I'm doing to my actual subjects, that's the students, which is my whole purpose of joining my profession. What am I doing to them? I would think that. And I will feel like, okay, maybe I should find another way, because these crazy people will destroy the students. And maybe if our students keep going ahead to do better and better, we will create leaders that will appreciate us, just as children appreciate parents that work very hard for them. We hear about those stories all the time where the parents sold their wrapper to send their child to school. My mother did this for me. My mother did that for me. And the children will do everything to help those parents later on when the children go on to become successful. If the lecturers made the sacrifice to keep the students at the university, maybe by today, those students will be at in government houses, reciprocating that good gesture to them. Is it not the other day we saw Adeleke in tears? Why was he in tears? Because of what he remembered that his brother did for him. The sacrifices that were made. How do we think we are going to get out of this without any sacrifice? Without anybody feeling pain? Nigerians are already feeling pain. All of them. Why is it that the lecturers have to keep? Why don't we just feel the pain and university students remain at university? Because we are going to feel the pain anyway. You stay at home, you don't stay at home, the pain is still there. You choose the right pain you have to go for. There is no way we are going to get out of this mess without sacrifice. We either do the sacrifice for something, or we're going to sacrifice for nothing. And as to what they are doing, they are sacrificing not just for nothing, for something very negative. They have been doing things very negative to the Nigerian state. And I don't support all this disastrous and danger, how they call it, insidious strikes that are actually damaging people. I can't accept. Why would we? I think Nigerians should not even accept it. Why should we accept it? Because we hate federal government. I really don't understand that. Then you might as well say the soldiers should go on strike too. Why should they go on strike? They actually have to pay with their lives. Is it because the lecturers, they just went to school a little bit longer? So what? Their lives matter more than the life of a soldier. And that same soldier may even have children going to university that cannot go to university because the lecturers feel like, oh, our payment system, you have to accept our payment system. In short, look at even the principle of that payment system. You are telling your employer, which is the government, how to pay you.
Mr. Tunaja, talking about words, people having words in the universities, NLC, NUPENG, NAS, Aviation, the banking sector, they have all supported or joined their voice in its solidarity strike with ASU. And now federal government has come out. Initially, it was the police that said that if NLC wants to engage in a protest, that they would have to write to that effect, and they termed that. The very next day in the news, they termed that. Now, federal government has come out to say that NLC's solidarity strike is illegal. What is your reaction to this, and what do you think would happen? If they go on with the strike.
If it is illegal, and then they will find it hard to go ahead with it. I believe so, because in Nigeria, one thing Nigerians fear most is generally anyway, is to be on the wrong side of the law, because they know that the government will come down on them. As a matter of fact, the government may even take the opportunity to vent their anger on them. So they will not go there. And even the instinct to even support it just tells you everything you need to know about Nigeria. There's no accountability. You know,
Yeah,
what
that's
is
that's
your
what I was going to say to you though. I'm like, in this Nigeria that everybody they do as they want to. You think anybody's going to hold them
um
straight? And how badly do you also look at for the total event? If aviation goes on strike, we know what that means,
mm,
right? If
yeah,
if the banking sector goes on strike, we know what that means. If all of these people, NLC, that means the whole country will shut down. Is that
yeah.
the right attention for these people? Because this is like 156, 157 days already, and they're still dancing about. So do you think they should even damn the consequences and support the strike, or they should sit at
See,
home?
if the strike is effective, if the strike was effective, I would say yes, do go and do your strike, because you have to also weigh the outcomes. By their fruits ye shall know them. Don't make excuses. No debates, no buts, no funny business. Failure and mediocrity cannot be celebrated in the country, because if the strike was effective, I would say, okay, let's say the big NLC, all of them gang up together and say, you know what, we are going to say enough is enough for the federal government. You people have to make sure we are secure. Our workers are not secure. You people have to make sure we get electricity. If they are doing that and they all band together and they hold position and say we are not going anywhere, even if the military decides to down their tools, I will support that, because they are fighting for something that's going to transform the society indefinitely. But that is not what they are doing. They are killing us by 1,000 cuts. That is what I dislike about it. That's why I consider it is serious. It's not, if it was the first time. Look at the dates. Just from 1999, it's almost consistent every year. They
So
are
then
striking.
that means, but that means they've been sacrificing something too, Mr. Tunager. They've
And
held
that's
on.
the,
They've
But they
been
get paid
pushing
when they
through.
return. So hold on. Before they return to lecture, do they not get paid for the period that they were
Mr.
home?
Tunager, do you know when last that the lecturer's salary was reviewed?
No, no, no.
See, I
Okay, that's
I
my
don't
point.
blame
All
these
Nigerians
people.
are
I
suffering.
don't I don't
Is
blame
government
these
salary?
people.
can
No, hold on,
I
hold
It's
on,
say
hold on, hold
really
on.
something?
hard.
No, people make that argument a lot, but I will ask you this:
Can I
how many
say,
government workers' salary has also been reviewed? Should they all go on strike too? How many soldiers' salary has been reviewed? Should they all too also go on strike?
But
Police?
with the military guys, right? They can't challenge. I mean, they can't challenge. If the military were supposed to come out and say what it is, I don't think we'll have a military now, because those guys are under. They don't have the right weapons, even the fundings. You know when this man said he was going to recruit 50 million Nigerians into the military. What plans do you have for the military? These ones that are barely there, and why some of them are still there is because I think it's because they've given their life to the military. They don't know how to fit into any other place. Some of them are not so very educated, so to say. So where would they start from with their families?
It's not fair to say tell a man that actually that knows that they could die for their country, that they don't know what they are doing.
I'm sorry, did I say that?
That you said they were like I didn't you didn't exactly say that. You said that they were like they didn't have anywhere else to go. That's why they remained there. The thing is, these people do this job, a
No,
very
no,
very
Mr.
dangerous
Tunaja,
job.
I would like to take you up on that, because I am one person. When I say military man, if we are in a place where the bills gets to be exchanged, I take care of the bill of any military personnel that is in front of me, or we are buying. I'm like, oh, I'm paying for this person. Add to whatever they are going to buy. I do that. I appreciate them. I appreciate them. But a military person, somebody who does what, should not even be where you have civilians. So a military man will leave his job and become an employee to somebody. Do you think they can tolerate the kind of things that's it is in that context? It is in that light. That's why I said
Mm.
what I said. I
No,
just wanted
I
us
understand
to
what you
straighten
mean.
that out. I do
I understand
appreciate
what you
them.
mean, and I know you didn't mean it in a
No, no.
derogative way.
In a
But
depressing way. No,
yeah.
not at all. Okay.
So, but the point I'm making is that their lives, and they are thinking human beings too. When you know you are in the crosshair at any moment, believe you me, things concentrate very quickly because you have family, you have to think about what is going to happen to them when you are gone. So these people go and do this job. Doctors do the same thing. Police do the same thing. Sometimes they don't even get paid. The police is even treated worse. So all these people, customs officer, name them. Many of them, their salary has not increased. Even here in the West, some of them, their salary has not increased in real terms since 2008. You see, the thing that these people do, they act as if they are the only ones feeling the pain. How about people that don't even have a job? What are they doing? Are they going on strike too? Not that anybody will notice anyway. Are they going on strike? They're not going to be citizens anymore. See, the point is that
there's a conspiracy that is saying that lecturers are, they're sizing up their pay with that of senators. I mean, they are saying
you can't do that.
Or with politicians. And no, but of a true self, these are our politicians. They need to. They are overpaid. They are doing nothing. Look at the country.
I agree with that. I agree with.
So yes, this. I think this is one strike that they should stick to. Actually, I mean, look at them. Look at them. With where the country is for the past 10 years, they shouldn't be paid what they are being paid. Their pay is unnecessary.
Then they should all go on strike for politicians' pay. If you want to strike for politicians' pay, strike for that. You see, that is something you can do, and you send a single message, not telling federal government to pay you in a certain way, not telling them that this is what is it. Then you keep students at home for 6-7 months. For me, right, I can't excuse that.
All right, Mr. Tunaija, I already know your stand, and some of us here already know your stand on this issue. Mr. Juden, you've been trying to say something.
Yes, I want to, because I don't really agree with Mr. Tunaija, especially when they reference that lecturers, their strike is worse than Boko Haram. That is, to me, is way too extreme. These lecturers, they go to the same market that everybody goes. They have children that they pay for, they take care of, that are in schools and doing one thing or the other, that they have to take care of them. They have families, they have responsibilities, and these people are not taken care of. Their salaries are just one of the worst salary. And you see, these are professors who have devoted their time studying, training our children, and many years in school. And then they have these people in government, politicians, earning trillions and billions of naira just because of sitting down in Aso Rock. And then some of them will even be sleeping when an important issue is being deliberated. But they will still, regardless, they will still earn their money. They will still get the outrageous pay. Many of them are always sleeping there. Okay, and sometimes a few that are awake when important case is going on, is being debated. They will be chatting with their counterpart. To whoever is standing up to debate, and this, you see, after it said I call them names. What else other than fools that will you call those set of people? And they earn more than anybody, any senators in the world. And yet they don't do nothing. And in that same country, you have professors, you have people teaching our children, and they don't pay them. They pay them just meager salary that cannot even enable them to take care of their children. They drive cars that they cannot even maintain their cars. Most of them, they drive rickety cars of 20, 40 years ago. Most lecturers still drive cars of 20, 30 years ago. Okay? And somebody will say that, they're going on strike is illegitimate. And I don't know how that can be equated with Boko Haram that has been killing Nigeria. It's Boko Haram that have made it difficult for a section of Nigeria today not to be able to go to farm. And that has been affecting our economy adversely. And thousands of people have died. Many families have been many children have been rendered fatherless as a result of their activities. Many wives have been rendered widows, and some men are widowers. Okay, many families have been devastated as a result of the activities of Boko Haram. Okay, now why all these things is going on, it still boils down to corruption. When you have corrupt leaders, okay, everything trickles down. Okay, Many of these lecturers, again, on the other hand, I will also blame them too, because they are part of the problem that is causing why they themselves are having problem that they are having. Because many of them are used during electoral periods for as returning officers in elections, and for with INEC, and even some top officials in INEC are recruited from among the lecturers. But these are the same people that politicians use to rig election. So what do they think? That they collect money to rig, for the politician to rig in an incompetent person to become a leader, and what do they think? That same incompetent person they have enabled or assisted to rig his way through into a political position, is going to come back and begin to give them good governance? It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Okay,
All
so
right, all right.
because they are part of the problem, they are part of the people that have caused the problem that they are going through. Okay, apart from all their corrupt practices in the school, whereby they have to, frustrate, children, and make some of them to sleep with them before they will give them their due mark, and then collect money from others, and then, in fact, when I was in school, I never knew what I never knew anything called sorting of lecturer. But these days, that is pervasive in every schools in Nigeria now. You see people say, "Oh, I need to sort a lecturer." Why do you? Oh, if you don't sort him, no matter what you do, you won't pass. Now, that is the kind of corrupt system that we have. Everywhere is corruption. Everywhere is rotting. Honestly, I don't know if who is going to deliver Nigeria from this
All
situation.
right, Mr. Juden. All right. Well, um, okay, I will just move on to the next. I'll move on to the next story. I want us to talk about. Did we watch yesterday's unveiling of Shetima as Tinubu's running mate? I'll come to Mr. Collins. How are you doing? Thank you for joining today's broadcast.
Good morning, my sister Emma, and
It's
good
been a
morning
while,
to the
Mr. Collins.
listener.
Where have you been?
I'm just laughing throughout yesterday because I'm busy watching in what is happening in Nigeria. So kind of the whole story yesterday and the whole joke that was playing yesterday. So I'm kind of
All
enjoying
right.
myself looking at what
Oh,
thing
you
that's
are.
happening.
Okay, okay. So I want us to talk about all those costume wearing people that came to act like bishops and pastors. That was sickening to watch. I watched that and my tummy was very, very tight. I was like, what? So these people shamelessly went until I started noticing. I'm like, okay, but no bishop would leave his house without properly ironing his sweater. What kind of cheap ass material? Forgive my French. What kind of cheap material is that they are even wearing? They don't look honorable. They don't look distinguished. The bishopric office is an esteemed and an honorable one. So what's happening? Not until I saw this man venting and he came out to say, I'm guessing Kachi, did this yesterday or she's going to do it today. And he was saying that just behind the park behind the building, the event center, some men came to them and said that they should wear these costumes and act like these people, and they will be paid
1,000.
100,000 naira for
Mm,
that. And they only got agreed because they were paid 40,000 naira instead of the 100,000 naira
mm.
that they were agreed to. They settled for.
Yeah. For me, the whole thing is embarrassing. First of all, I think if I'm the Christian Association, I have to drag Tunumbu and whoever and Shetima to court because that is an insult to Christianity. That is an insult.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
an
is a
that's
pure,
an
yeah.
that's an
So that is,
angle.
yeah, so that's an insult to Christianity because you can't be embarrassing people by using something that even doesn't matter anything. That show you the level that these people can to just to achieve their aim, to achieve whatever they want to achieve. And this is not the first time. People looking at it that this is the first time. It's not the first time. You saw what happened when Buhari traveled to America. They went to hire people. They went to hire people, pay the money to come out and start saying that they are Nigerians, that there is no killing in Nigeria. There is nobody is killing Christians, nobody is killing anybody in Nigeria. So that's how APC have been doing their life. That is the politics they play. That is the politics they've been playing from day one. So It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. Like people saw it yesterday, kind of a surprise to them. For me, it's not a surprise because when the APC took time to unveil, because I don't know what they are going to unveil their vice president. Other people, the day Atiku nominated the vice president, Atiku unveiled him that the same day. The day Peter Obi did, he did it that the same day. This day, Kwankwaso, he did it the same day. So APC have to took almost like 2 weeks, the whole thing. That to show you, because all this period of 2 weeks, they're kind of using it to plan these their stupid ideas. Because I see it is that is stupid, and for me, it's an embarrassment. Because a lot of people, as I'm reading now, most of them are still complaining that nobody have ever paid them. Even some, if that 40,000, most of them haven't even received the 40,000. And most of them, even some people are now started identifying all those people. Most of them are mechanic. Most of them are even somebody that nobody knows about. Another thing again, look at and if you want to make your research, you make your research very well. In Nigeria, we have like 4 female bishops in Nigeria or thereabout. So where are you bringing all those people for? Who are they? So for me, the whole thing is embarrassing. To be, if you ask me, the whole thing is purely embarrassing to Nigeria as a nation, and also as a Christian, as a religion. For me, it's embarrassing. If I can, I would just drive Tinubu and the so-called the vice president. I will drive them to court. Then they come and provide those people. They say that they are bishop, they are this, they are this. Because for me, when I look at the whole thing, because they should have gone and hired their so-called maybe more or so-called Muslim scholars to come and add that kind of thing. So that's an embarrassment to it. As any Christianity, that is an embarrassment for me. Looking at the whole thing yesterday is an embarrassment. So, and it's an insult. That is, for me, everything is like an insult to the whole Nigeria. And they're talking about the strike of a thing. Like my brother said there, the whole thing about this strike is like, it's really making the whole thing, everybody like, it's not a new thing again because Nigeria have been going strike. I remember when I was in school in Nigeria, we went for strike a period of time, maybe 4 months, there about 3 months. Then at the end of the day, it's still called going strike in Nigeria is a usual thing. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing, but it's not a new thing. We shouldn't be seeing it as a new thing. My own, I keep praying that this strike will keep going, keep going, keep going till the maybe next year. So that because average in Nigeria, they are very easy to forget. They can forget easily. Before something start happening in Nigeria, that thing have to get to them. If that thing haven't get to them, Nigeria cannot react. That thing need to get to them, get to their relation, get to their friends, get to their brothers and sisters before Nigeria can start reacting. But if the thing is happening to another place, average citizen don't care, average Nigeria don't care. So the only way something can start happening, I wish other people can join the whole strike, both aviation, so that when that aviation started happening, it's not going to have affect the poor masses, it's going to affect the big men too. So by that time, they will not say, okay, let's come to sit down, let's come and talk about it. And I don't want us to come down and take maybe let come down to that round table and just make a decision in the name of making a decision. Because tomorrow the same thing will happen. It's better if you want to iron this issue of strike, iron it for once. Not maybe in the next 2 years or another government to come, you start having this issue of strike of every day. The best thing, if we want to iron this issue, let's settle it this time. We are not going back again. This is our demand. If we can't meet up this man, even it's better for us to stay for strike for 2 years and get the actual something we want, so that next time there won't be nothing like strike in Nigerian institution again, than to maybe 4 months they settle us, we go back another 4 months again, maybe in the next of 2 years again we start having this strike again. For me, I would advise the ASU people to just stand on their firm, stand on their ground, say, if you want us to settle this thing, let's settle it for once. We are not coming back. This is our demand. If our demand is by putting the education, all our education institution in a good order, everything have to be sound, everything. Because you can't be telling me that there is no money to pay lecturers, where somebody can cough out 100 million to buy a common ticket, just a ticket, a primary ticket. That's 100 million. Calculate the amount of people that bought that ticket in APC. That is how much. Then you calculate people that bought it in PDP. That is a lot of money. So where are they getting this money for? So you can't be fooling people there is no money. So if there is no money, how our senators are being paid? How our House of Members are being paid? They have been eating all the money in Nigeria. So To tell Nigerians there is no money, that's you are fooling yourself. I think if you watch the budget Nigeria make, I think education is the lowest which when they're making their budget. Well, education is supposed to be education, health. I think they are supposed to be the key factor when it comes to people making their budget. But when it comes to Nigeria, the kind of budget they make in Nigeria will get you annoyed. They keep investing money in areas that is not meant to invest. So they keep putting money where that is not meant to. Look at money. They will be telling you, then do this, then do this. Even the money they were borrowing, you say you are building railway. We can't even see the railway you are building. So why can't you invest that? You better invest the money in education. So let's have a good education system that can function for
All
everybody.
right, Mr.
So for
Collins.
me, that is the whole thing is a scam. I see it as scam because everything is scam in Nigeria. Both the federal government is a scam. Nigeria go everything in Nigeria is a scam. So they just have to come straight and tell the people the truth because there's a lot of money in Nigeria. A lot. There's a lot of money to take care of
Right.
that.
All right, Mr. Collins. Thank you. I need to move on to someone else, please. So, Mr. Kennedy, thank you for joining today's broadcast. How are you, Mr. Kennedy?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Emma. Nice to be here again.
All right, sir. Please speak on the topic of discussion today.
Can you move to the next person? I'm inside the elevator. I don't want you to be
Okay,
disappointed.
Mr. Majid. All right, Mr. Majid. You have the floor if you are still here. Mr. Majid. Okay, I'll be moving on to Mr. Juden. Mr. Juden, we've not talked about,
I'm
those
back here.
fake.
I'm okay now. I'm okay. It's
Okay,
all right.
okay. All right, Mr. Juden, please just a minute. So, Mr. Kennedy, what do you have to say about those costume wearing pastors that paraded themselves at the APC unveiling of Shetima yesterday?
Thank you very much. Thank you, the panelists. Miss Kachi is here. I can see her face. Anyways, I think she left again. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, watchers, viewers at home. Uh, yesterday I asked a question if those of us that are not very educated, if Shetima was a monument or a statue to be unveiled. But anyway, joke aside, you see, like I always say, it's a comic environment. Nigeria is a federal republic of comedy. I don't know why somebody has to go to that extent of, hiring people from the street, hiring artisans from the street to come and put on the costumes of bishops, and for us to believe that they are actually Christians. Well, it seems to me that Tinubu knows that he has done something that is not palatable, something that has not appealed to the sensibilities of Nigerians. That is why he's going to that extent. If it is possible for me to ask Kasim Shetima, Kasim Shetima was talking about the Igbo guy that he gave education and probably is going for his PhD very soon, or that. If it is not important, if tribe or ethnicity is not important, why would he be talking about it? He shouldn't be talking about it if he feels it's not important. Because he feels it's important, that is why he's talking about it. You understand? You see, these people, they think they are talking to mumus. We are not mumus. We understand what is going on. Just come out straight, tell us what is going. Don't tell us you sponsor an Igbo. You didn't even ask where he came from. Is that possible? You didn't even ask where he came from. You sponsored him. He had his GC or whatever, or school living certificate. He couldn't further. He was selling pass or something, and you decided to sponsor without asking where he came from. Is that possible? It's not possible. But anyway, because it is important, your tribe is important, you have to be able to identify with somebody you are trying to sponsor. If I want to sponsor an Igbo, if I want to sponsor a Yoruba, I should be able to know where he or she is coming from. That does not stop you from knowing the tribe he is. Is he going to? Shetima wants to tell me he has not even met with the parents of the boy. This is important. Tribe, ethnicity, religion is important in a society like ours. It's very important. They should stop deceiving us. Look at those people they gave. Some were hiding their faces from the camera. Like one of my brothers rightly said, if I were to be canned, I would sue Tinubu for having desecrated the body of Christ, as the Christians will say, desecrated the body of Christ by renting those people to come and desecrate those uniforms, those costumes. So I don't know what is good. The desperation in this Tinubu. Just come out, tell us what you have, tell us what you want to give to us, tell us what you have done in Lagos, tell us what you're going to do more, tell us why Buhari has failed and why you make sure that the failure of Buhari will be corrected. That is what we want to hear. You see, anybody that wants to move us forward is what we are gonna assist or support. You don't keep on bringing all those dirty costumes to deceive the sensibilities of Nigerians because you are desperate to be a president. Anyway, like I always said, it's comic. So let us we should be ready to take it until February or March of next year, and we kick them out, all of them from A to Z. We're going to kick them out. So thank you very much. If I have to go to the ASO strike, I can understand where brother I think two Niger is coming from, but I disagree with him because I think he's talking from the position of rationality. This is not, to me, this is not about being rational. It's about keeping to your promises. The federal government has promised, and pen was put on paper uh, before that promise was reached. That was since 2009. They should fulfill their part of the bargain. This is very simple. There's no need of talking about these issues over and over again. They should fulfill their part of the bargain. You promise to do ABCD. They do the ABCD, and let's move on. Look at these politicians, like one of the last speaker said, buying the primaries form for 100,000, 100 million each. Is that not enough? Is that not enough to pay this money the ASU is asking for? No, why if you don't have them, if the federal government does not have that kind of money, why don't you make your primaries free and use the money to with these people that are paying this money, where are they getting this money from? If senators could be paid about 13 million naira a month, why is it that they don't have money to pay us? Like somebody was saying, what if the police, the military, and other people, they are not being paid well, and what if they have to strike? If we come to that, we'll get to the river, we'll cross it, we'll get to the bridge. So those people are not the ones striking here. People striking here, they are the ASU. Let us address the ASU grievances. Their grievances is that they have agreement with the federal government, and the federal government is not living up to expectation. The federal government should be held responsible. I think they ask you have all these professors of law and all that. Would they take the federal government to court? They should take the federal government to court and even let the federal government pay them more for deceiving them. This is deceit. So I don't know how
All
this
right, Mr.
go.
Kennedy.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're most welcome, sir. Thank you. But still stay on the line because we'd like to have you back. Mr. Juden, you were going to say something. Yes, I'd like for us to talk about the playouts at the national unveiling of Shetima as Tinubu's running mate. What should we expect? What it seems to me right now, right? It seems like these people are going to make it look like Khan, PFN, and all of these people are in support because the public kept votes or they already have votes of some, on face and please, if you're not speaking, please be kind enough to put your mic on mute. So it seems like they want to make it look like people are voting for them, and every time we're always having on the headline news, PFN is angry, Khan is angry, and people were at some point agitated, like you people should leave them alone. So it looks like they are the ones putting out stories out there that is not even true. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch the video yesterday, or did you see the
Well,
pictures? Those people.
I see a lot of video clips, regarding to that, all over the social media. I think
Okay.
the one of the reason I think they did that is to douse the apprehension and the concern of the citizens, especially the Christians in Nigeria, about their Muslim peak. I believe they just did that to say, after all, can't you see, even bishops are supporting us, and then they gave them. I heard They bribe them with how much each for to get them there with a lot of money. Well, you see, everything still boils down to the fact that this man called Tinubu is in his DNA. Corruption is in his DNA. Okay, he stole his way through to become the presidential candidate for their party, and now look at what he's doing. Must he invite the bishops to validate before they can be validated when already they have messed up? What do they think? Choosing Muslim as a candidate in for a major political party in Nigeria, in fact, for a ruling political party in Nigeria, for a country that is a secular country, a secular nation, a country that is not a Muslim country. What do they think? They shot themselves on the foot, in as much as it's bad. But again, that I mean, it's good for the obese campaign. It's good for the obese party. Okay, they shot themselves on the foot, so that is part of damage control that they are trying to do. But unfortunately, as stupid as they are, they continue to initiate this kind of measures to do damage control, whereas increasing the problem that they have created for themselves. Because now every Nigerian is talking about that, and they have further exposed their corrupt inclination that they just cannot do without being corrupt, without involving in corrupt practices. How can you hire people and pay them money to come and put up regalia? And who knows, maybe all of those people that even went there, maybe most of those people that even went there are not even real bishops. All they need to do is to give them down the clothing or the regalia or the costume. Because I see from the video that was being shown, you will see there were some people, after they've gone out from there, they were removing this thing, and it turns out that some of them were not even Christians. This is very embarrassing. Honestly,
Well,
it's very embarrassing.
some of them, one of them came out. The one I watched who came out to say that they were promised just the park behind the event center. They came to meet them there and promised them 100,000 naira for them to just wear their attire and walk into the event center. That's all that they needed them to do.
You
They
see,
ended up paying them 40,000 naira instead of what they had even. You see, even the person that they want to use to even like, they still cheated the person. So what should we expect from this APC?
that
It is
is the
everybody that they
thing.
are cheating and that they are playing.
I
It is
keep,
everybody.
I,
So that was what brought all of this out. If not, would have still been, trying to believe Khan or PFN that they didn't send some delegates and all of that.
now listen, Emma, and for all those that are, you see, once you are a liar, right? Once you tell one lie, you will need more 10 lies to continue to
That's
cover up. This man stole election. He bribed. He stole primary to get himself elected. So for him to continue to move on and maybe he feels to gather momentum in his campaign, he will continue to steal, he will continue to bribe, he will continue to engage himself in fraudulent practices. This man, Tinubu, that is bribery, corruption is in his DNA. He just can't do without it. Okay, psychologically, we call those people, impulsive. If it is a lie, we call them impulsive liars. All right, this is a mental problem that he's having. Okay, someone that cannot do without corruption, without corrupt practices, without swindling. If you check his background, from his antecedent, he has always engaged, right from the time he was in school, engaged in this kind of fraudulent practices. And look at what is going on. And this is the kind of person that somebody is supporting, people are supporting to become the president of Nigeria. Then if he becomes the president of Nigeria, what are you going to expect from such a man? What are you going to expect?
all right.
One day he's going to probably go to China and recruit Chinese, to come and impersonate as whatever he wants them to impersonate in order to make him feel good, or for people to see that he's doing well as the president.
All
This
right.
man
All
is
right, Mr.
corrupt. He's
Jude.
endemically corrupt. You see, he cannot cure him. There's no way he can cure his corruption.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. Aisha, with Nigerian politicians, I have come to agree that corruption is a disease. The more it stays in you, the more damages it does, and it just, takes up the whole of your system. For you to play that little, Mr. Juden, thank you for your submission. I have to move to some other person, please.
Welcome. Thank
I'll
you.
come back to you before the end of the show, Mr. Tunanja. With all of this that played out, I don't know if you followed the news yesterday. We followed this story yesterday of the costume wearing bishops. Did you?
Yeah, I saw a video of them, parading around and covering their
Parading,
face. No, they
right?
were covering their face in the video, and at least the one I saw, they were trying to dodge questions and stuff like that.
Okay, so Mr.
So,
Tunaija, this is baffling, right? I never would think that there is a need. What do you think is the reason? What is the logic? What are they supposed to get from this? Can you help us try to
mm,
understand, why
I
they had to
think
go and rent costumes?
I think it's a little bit flattering for the South anyway that they, at least to the Christians, they are trying to, make an effort to reassure the Christians that,
To reassure other Christians that we have the Oripo of
yes,
faith here with us.
yeah,
Could that
yeah,
could that
yeah.
be the only logic?
Yeah, of course, that's the logic behind it. It's not to mock the Christians. It's just to say, you know what? Look, we have bishops here that are not so crazy like they can, and maybe we are not that bad after all. So that was the game they were trying to play, but it's a little bit silly because in the end, sooner or later, they wouldn't even require to. They will not need to do that because the North, given the trajectory, they are going to have the numbers. They will be able to win elections without caring whether you are Muslim, or Muslim Christian. Um, it tells you what is happening to our Nigerian politics, though, that we focus too much on regions, tribes, and religion. And I don't even understand why we do this. I don't want to, cast aspersions on the religions, but this religion, we didn't create it. It's of another people. And then from the one in the north and the one in the south, I'm not going to spill one blood over religion. I can tell you that right now, because it's just one of those things that yes, it's been positive for the country to an extent because it helped unify our way of worshiping, but that is done now, and we need to grow out of this and realize that we're a people first and start talking to each other honestly about our problems because this is about problem solving. And when we start focusing on religion, it's a distraction. They like to distract us with all these things. And because then you are not busy talking to your fellow northerner that is a human being that has been there for thousands of years before these religions. You're not talking to them. You're talking about the religion that was just brought in how many years. So for me, I would dismiss all that and focus on the real message of trying to solve problem for our people. Our people have been suffering. That's what we are talking with ASU. So this one is just a masquerade, and it's a bit of a pathetic thing. They can't even pull off a con properly. These guys, I don't know why we keep saying. And the thing about Tinubu, people don't understand about Tinubu is that it's not only about money with Tinubu. It's not only about people are afraid of him. Some people actually like Tinubu, and this is the thing people miss about him. Just because you don't like him doesn't mean some people don't like him. The guy is a likable person. If you meet Tinubu today, you're not going to hate him immediately. So if you have to understand the person before you can fully appreciate the damage that they are doing, because then you can now be able to say, okay, this is where he's actually damaging our system. This is how Babangida was too. Babangida was very charismatic, but that guy did so much damage. There's not one man that has done more damage to this country than Babangida. And he was extremely charismatic. Some people were willing to swear by him even after he cancelled June 12th. So when you talk about Tinubu, let's understand the human being first. Because when you see those governors stepping down the way they were doing, I don't think it was out of fear. He has done something for them, and they are returning a favor back.
All right. We seem to have digressed a little from talking about the
Oh
APC
yeah, yeah.
election
Don't mind me. Yeah.
yesterday to Tinubu's personality. All right, ma'am, Mr. Tunanja. If that'll be your submission regarding what happened yesterday, that'll be all. Then I'll get back to you, Mr. Tunanja. Mr. Collins,
Yeah,
I don't know if you took out time to watch, all of that that's played out yesterday.
I did. I did. I want to say there's something that my brother Tuna just said there. You know, when he said about tribe, he said about religion. So we have to be, sometimes we have to be sincere to ourselves and be honest to ourselves. There is no country on this planet, there is no country on this planet that don't practice religion, that don't practice tribe. They all practice it, just that because of we in Nigeria, we practice it in a different way. If you look at the America, for America, for instance, maybe majority of America are all Christians. Look at how they been able to stop this this abortion right of a thing. That because it's against their religion, they have to speak against it. Even the Scotland, if you go to Scotland, they have six people there. They are ruling the country, but everybody knows when it goes to your turn, you just have to step in. Once you get your turn, you get to, because if they know that they don't believe in religion, they don't believe in tribe, they should have said maybe anyhow person can just come anywhere you come from, come and rule us. But because they put their own in a very organized way, that is the problem in Nigeria. If we are Nigeria, if Nigeria put in like if a ton of an Hausa man reach, nobody should come out. It will be in constitution. Everything will be working fine just because we are not practicing it in a very good way. That makes it like everybody want to like we don't want this religion of a thing. You can't run away from something that is on you. You can't run away from it. This is religion. You have come to stay. And this is a tribe. We have come to stay. You can't run away from it. Those things are there. You cannot run away from it. That is number one. Then two, when it comes to this those people, I think I'm just watching something that Tunde did not posted. Some people in Naba have used that thing for movie. I think it's trending. People are using it for movie now. So it's an embarrassment. That shows you the level. If Tinubu can get to this level just to achieve this, that shows you when he becomes a president, he's going to do more. Imagine when he becomes a president, what is he going to do? Like he said, Tinubu may do something in favor. If you are returning favor to Tinubu, that is your own personal favor, not in the name of you are returning favor for Nigeria's sake. You understand? So we are talking. You can go to Tinubu, return whatever favor Tinubu did for you. That is your personal problem. Like two Nigerians, there's the people you help in your place. If they're coming to return their favor, it's to you personal, not in your community. It's to you personal. So they go to that personal. That is their own personality. It's not. Don't force it on people. Don't force it in Nigeria. Don't force it on Nigeria that because of Tinubu did something for me, I must return it so that Nigeria will pay
So
for it. No, I
so
can't.
don't
I can't do
so
that.
don't
So
so don't use Nigeria to pay back, a
yeah,
favor.
yeah,
Yeah,
don't use Nigeria
and
to
I
pay
think
back
that's
yourself.
what they are doing. I think
No, don't
that's
do
what
that
they
for
are
me,
doing.
Nigeria. So
They're not
that
looking
is
at the bigger
another
picture.
issue.
That's just selfishness, which is something that every politician or most politicians, I'd like to give credence to. I'd like to think that there are one or so out there that that are different. I'd like to think so. Mr. Collins, I don't know if I interrupted you or you already rounding up.
Just because for me, there is no much thing to say about it because the whole thing is like the other man said there is it's like a comedy. Nigeria is a comedy. Like I said about Tunumbi, I don't care what Tunumbu is. I don't care. Like the other man said here, Nigeria don't want you to begin to unveil anybody. Don't unveil Christians. Don't unveil Muslims. Since you have made that decision, you made that decision to yourself. On that decision, come out to Nigeria. Tell
Right?
us what because all they're asking you, come and tell us what are you going to do for us. We all know how the state Nigeria is now. This is how I'm going to make Nigeria to become better. If I'm able to, if you guys elected me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. That's what Nigeria wanted you to say. Not going out and telling people I'm a city guy. I was born in city. This. That is not what Nigeria is asking you. They are asking you come out. Tell us your own. And sometimes when people support people, I don't know how they support people. Oh. Before I started support somebody, I have to ask you, what do you? I ask myself, what is this person going to give me? What is this person bringing on board? Those are the questions you that want to support somebody ask yourself before starting supporting somebody. For me, Tinubu just have to come out from this shell of a religion of a thing. He just cooking because nobody is talking about that again. He made his decision. I believe the day of election, Nigeria too will make their own decision. You make your own decision. Other people will make their own decision too. So you don't need to force people to because you made a decision, we should rely on that decision you make. You made your choice. On that day of election, I made my own choice. Finish. So all that we're asking you, come out on television, grant an interview, tell Nigeria this is what I want to do. Don't forget about the religion, whatever. But let's talk about what you are bringing to the board. That is it. But you keep
All
playing
right.
this religion of a thing, and he's killing himself. Thanks.
All right, Mr. Collins. If I have never been penalized for my broadcast, I think today I would, because my people, you guys have used all sort of words today. Guys, please, I know the temperature when we talk about the headlines and news generally in Nigeria can be rising. So, but please, guys, let's follow the rules. Let's follow the guidelines here. No use of strong languages, vulgar languages, insults. They are strongly prohibited. These are laid down rules that I myself have to, follow through. So please, guys, let's do the needful. To as many that are watching today, over 100 people that are watching this broadcast, please do the needful by liking this broadcast. Let's start from there. In another minute, I'm going to come talk about I'll come talk about sharing and inviting someone. For now, please let's just like this broadcast. Let's love this broadcast, guys. Please let's push it. Let's make this um platform easily accessible to people on YouTube. So, guys, please do the needful. Um, Samuel Olaka is saying there is nothing to like about Tinubu. If he did something for some governors, that was done by corruption. If you like Tinubu, you like corruption. Tinubu and Atiku are corruption glorified. Kanayo Moweta says last speaker said a lot of very sensible things. And Stella Oresa is saying the best campaign gifts politicians should give is truth. When you are not truthful to yourself, you cannot be truthful to your followers. Character and integrity matters. Mr. Majid, I don't know if you are back here. It's been a struggle. Mr. Majid, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Majid. How are you doing, Mr. Majid?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I agree to the house. Today I was finding it difficult to hear you guys so when I when I logged in.
I think it's your network, because the network is very static. It's not very clear right now. So okay, let's have your submission on the topic on ground.
Okay, first of all, I will touch on ABSU. To start with, Nigeria always misplace priority over their personal. Will I say politicians? They misplace priority, especially Nigerians, over their personal needs. I heard that this ABSU strike has been on ground for over 5 months now, and nobody is doing anything. What they did was to just go pick form of 100 million each, some big 40, and say ABSU is on strike. I want to know. I want to ask the three things that I know that drives countries or society is health, education, security, and welfare, and that's that's the things that drive country and in many places. But in Nigeria, we overlook those things, we neglect those things, feeling that it doesn't matter because there is not their children that is attending school, that is attending hospital here. It's not their children that is, you know, working and not being paid. They have everything sorted out for themselves and for their generation unborn. But they forgot that those things they are keeping and they are trying to accumulate for their kids they can just finish them once, and they forgot that. So whatever they are doing to the ordinary man who is working day and night to make sure that his kids are being fed and his bills are being taken care of, they will get it back in many fold. That is one thing they don't understand. You pay lecturer kobo, you pay lecturer penny, and the ordinary House of Assembly is earning and driving a car worth more than the salary of a teacher. Teachers are the reason why they are so them themselves are in position where they are today. Doctors are the reason why people don't die in hospitals, but they are being neglected every time. Every time. Nigeria is not the only country who has workers. Every other countries has workers, but none of them is going on strike the way Nigerian workers and ASU is going on strike. These people don't care about ordinary masses. What's wrong? What is wrong with Nigeria? Is those politicians possessed, or they are naturally wicked to wicked the masses, or maybe just to pocket us so that anytime they come out and say they want to contest, they will give us penny and we just accept it. We all, most of us here live abroad. We see how they celebrate teachers. We see how they celebrate workers. But here in Nigeria, is different thing. People work for just for $30 a month, and still it's difficult for you to give them that $30 they worked for. Even that money cannot even buy a bag of rice, but it's difficult for you to give them that which they worked for. But a senator just sits down on that red chamber, sleep, and go home with his salary worth millions. And this is a society we are trying to see how we are going to package it and bring it back to normal. It pains me when people who work are the one who suffer, and when people who doesn't work are the one who benefit from it. What will it take federal government to pay those people? Even if you can't pay them full, at least start with something. Start with something so that they can know, yes, you people are willing to, you people are willing to do what you agreed on. There's a way you owe someone, and the person, you're not giving the person the money fully, but the person will see your commitment. The person will know, yes, you're really committed in trying to, for, trying to trying to do what you and I agreed on. The person will have the mind to continue. How can you tell them to go back to school start when you have not even paid a dime on what you guys agreed on? So my father, who is a worker now, will go back to working. Why he has never received a salary for 5 months? Come on now. It doesn't happen that way. I want federal government to know that whatever they are doing to Nigerians, whatever they are doing to us, making us leave our country, making us live where we are, is not like we are treated much better, but at least we have every other thing life can offer much easier. But what they are doing is not fair. It's not really good. So I want everybody to know that if we get it wrong in 2023, it's going to be more worse than, because I know the kind of dream I had yesterday night is going to be worse. So I want everybody to know that if you wish Nigeria well, you cannot put the same people
All right,
who has
Mr.
put. Then the other, when it comes to Tinubu and the APC, man,
Uh,
that is one of the things we are talking. Sorry, please just give me like a minute. That is one of those things we are talking. If a father like Tinubu can just go hire fake people, a father, these people are father. They call themselves father. They're supposed to live by example. They're supposed to teach us a way to go. But they are the one now lying to us. When you lie to your son and your son knows, your children knows that true you're lying, how on earth do you expect that child to live? He's going to live on lies. Why then are you bringing people to just fake it, mocking us, the Christians? It's not fair. This is not good. Why mocking us? It's enough that you people are putting out as a minority. We accept. Don't just mock us. Don't just show us that in our face that we can't do anything. So I'm really pained seeing those men, old men, acting like kids, insulting our intelligence. Most of us are first class holders, PhD holders, and you're here telling me that what you're doing is good enough for me to come and vote for you. Who wants to vote for you should go and vote for you. For me, no, I can't even come and vote for somebody like, if he's the last person, I'd rather not vote. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Majid. I'm sure I just share in some of your sentiments, though. The way they just take everybody for a fool, for as if we have intelligent people in this country, like you, man. Sometimes you just don't know what to say in the affairs of Nigeria.
We
Well,
are individually
Mr.
intelligent. Sorry, I just wanted to add quickly.
Our intelligence are great, right? Mr. Tunaja, please just a minute. Someone has been on
Okay.
the line, holding on, so please. Good day, sir. I'm sorry I didn't even get your name. What's your name, sir?
My name is Bright, and I'm calling from Italy.
All right, Bright. Thank you for holding the line. Please make your contributions.
And the commenters we have on the program. I want to commend your efforts. It has been a wonderful discussion this morning, and everyone has commended, they've contributed wisely. Though we might have different opinion on issues, but at the end of the day, we are all going towards the same direction. My observation is just regarding the issue of the Shetima convocation and the people that were brought in to represent the Christian Association body. What I observed through this episode is that it's obvious that the APC have a way of doing their thing. And in recent times, a lot of people have accused these people of impersonating characters in their way of governing the Nigerian space. We have seen a lot of episodes, even to the federal level, where people say this person is not this person and the other person is not this person. So if there have not been these characteristics in this party, they will not just be so fit to do something like this. Even though it was clear for everybody that Khan was not associated with the decision, and they still went out to go out about this. So it tells us that we need to do a lot to make sure that we vote wisely this time and see how we're going to change the way Nigerian is being run. Because Nigerian today has shown truly the characteristics of a failed state. We have shown it in all areas or sectors of our public service. So with all this, I think the APC does not have anything for the betterment of the average Nigerian. They are just there to galvanize themselves. And the issue of the ASU strike that has been for a lot of going on, I think the issue is it has to do with we as Nigerians, the government of the day, because that's not this one, the one that we'll be having in the nearest future, should try to work on, institutions in Nigeria. Our institutions have failed. Our institutions have failed us woefully that everybody just want to go through the federal government. It's they also are supposed to go through an institution who are supposed to look over their affairs and speak to them. It's like everything that has to be done to make Nigeria better will have to just go through the presidency. In a well-defined state, it's not supposed to be like that. We have ministers of education, minister of this, minister of that, but in Nigeria, these people do not. They think that they just give them this position, they just carry that portfolio for themselves. They don't act according to their offices, and everybody has to cry to the office of the president. It's so sad that till now the government of the day does not have a way to solve the issue of the ASU strike. And look at what is going on around now that the other people want to engage themselves in the strike and put the whole country in a mess. I think we should just try to make sure that we use all these things happening around us to know how we are going to put out our votes in the coming election. Because Nigeria of today it's hopeless. It does not give you hope. But we pray that we still get the hold of the good people that want to put this country forward. Because the people running the affairs of Nigeria today have clearly shown this to us that they have failed in everywhere, every sector. We have a president that does not address issue. People that have been kidnapped, nobody talked about them, how we're going to rescue them. ASU strike is just saying that there. Imagine somebody who's going to be a doctor tomorrow that's supposed to do maybe a course for like 6 or 5 years. That means the person has to stay there for 12 years. I don't know. It's not encouraging, and a lot of people are laughing at us internationally. We made a lot of headlines in international news. So that's just my little contribution. We should pray that our interest, like somebody like Peter Obi, where a lot of people should galvanize behind him now with all these things that is happening, so that we change the status quo of what is going on in our society. That's my contribution. Thank you, Mrs. Emma, for having me. And my regards to my family. Have a good day.
All right, sir. You have a good day. So thank you, Mr. Tunanja. You had the floor for your submission.
I think I may have lost my chain of thought. I was reading a lot of things. I think somebody was saying something about the lecturers. Who was it? He said, "Oh, sorry about that. I just lost my chain of thought about it." But generally, I think, from what I've heard anyway, most people are still giving the lecturers the benefit of the doubt. And one of the speakers actually said that they appreciate my point of view, but I was coming from a rational point of view. But are we not supposed to be rational about these things? These things are costing lives. When you lack precision in your responses, it costs more lives. You have to respond rationally to be able to solve the problem. Because what other way is there? The way we have been doing it has not gotten us anywhere. This response that we keep giving is the same response we gave this in 2018, 2017. All the trials that have been happening, same response. When do we start saying that, you know what, plague on both of your houses, you all are screwing us up, maybe you guys should figure out the way to fix this, because you have to hold both sides accountable now. Because in the end, we are the joke in the middle. We don't know when we are getting punked here. We are actually getting punked. Yeah, 1.1 million people are at home, repeatedly keep delaying our futures while these two giants fight each other. And we are picking sides. But in reality, we are the ones really losing. The lecturers are not losing. They are just experiencing what other Nigerians are experiencing. And when they return from strike, they still get paid for the period that they were at home. For me, that is, I don't know why we allow them to do that. Because if you want to go on strike, you must believe in what you are saying seriously. Then don't do it and expect salary for that period. Because if you get your salary, what that will mean is that next time you just have to find another excuse to go on strike again.
I think I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Tanaja. So any little inconveniences, you're running there, you're putting every other thing on hold, and you get to recover every other thing that was seemingly lost in this supposed fight for these things.
Yeah, fight for what? You are fighting for students. The students are fighting for, they are home. You are not teaching them. You see the irony of the situation. It's like a doctor fighting for patients and leaving patients to die. What kind of irony is that? This is what these people are doing. Somebody has to call both of them out. They are both screwing us up. We are the joke here.
Tonight, can I say something? There is something I want to, the reference I want to give to you. See, the problem here, you can't blame the lecturers. There is a primary school I cited on social media yesterday. Do you know those children were sitting on the floor just to write exam? They were sitting on the floor. That is our children. Those children are the future of tomorrow. How can a child sitting on the floor, can that child be able to learn anything? What can a child sitting on the floor do? So for me,
the question I'll ask you is it better a child sits on the floor and learn, or not sit on the floor and not learn?
No, you can't sit on the floor and learn. There's nothing they can teach you when you're not comfortable and you'll be able to learn. No. The white people, those places where we are today, you cannot see a child sitting on the floor to learn. That is why you see them have the sense to develop the things they have today. If they were sitting on the floor to learn, I don't think we can be able to come here and enjoy the things we do. They provide a very good environment for them to study, for them to have things on their brain. And you're telling me that a kid that sat on the floor, his back is paining him, his buttocks are paining him, and you compare to a child who sat down and he has all the equipments to learn, and you use him to compare to a child who stay under the water to read. Man, no, now both of them can never be compared to each other.
I get
And
what
you
you are
know it.
saying. I get what you are saying, but you can't make the perfect the enemy of the good. When you are starting off, you have to start from somewhere and procedurally increase and improve things, but not saying that if it's not perfect, we don't start at all. That's what we have been
There's
doing.
nothing like perfect, bro. Let me tell you the truth. The Nigeria has not even tried, just to a little bit try. Then we'll say, okay, you are trying. Then we'll not be thinking of perfect. There is not even near talk of perfect. That is the truth.
Okay,
They are not
let me give you an example that you might relate to. If you have a poor parent, because your parents are poor, you don't have all the amenities that the rich children have. But your parents made sacrifices for you to make sure you get to university. When you do that, don't you show appreciation to your parents? You say, because, oh, you didn't give me all the comforts of life, I don't appreciate it. It's the gestures that you make is what people remember. You see what I mean? Those children, they will be uncomfortable, they will learn, but better, or if there's no other way to do it, it's better that way than they don't learn at all. Because something is better than nothing. That's my argument.
then I'm asking, is there something at all for them? Okay, if you go to there is a place in Lagos, those kids were those kids were going under the water barefoot. They stand on the water to sing national anthem, our national anthem, bro. Our national anthem. Those kids were on the water singing national anthem, bro. This is some, because their father cannot provide basic things for them. That is why they are like that. But their own kids is outside, man. What are we talking? These people are very heartless. I'm
The
telling you the truth.
the
We have to.
deplorable state of these schools. You wonder what the governors are doing. You wonder what the governors are doing. I saw that video some days back, and I mean, they don't even send their children to schools in Nigeria. As Samuel Olaka says, can you send your child to a school where they sit on the floor?
No,
Really, I wonder. These people, these things are in the news. They watch. They don't have humanity, empathy, sympathy. None of the things are still with these people. It's like they have a place where they go to get initiated and they just spudge it out of there. Say you would never see something and be sympathetic about it because I don't understand. The floods are killing people. Everything is wrong.
I think part of it is because we don't fully appreciate our situation. I
Can
say
I
it
say
all the
something?
time.
What's there
Go
to
ahead, go
I,
ahead.
appreciate,
I've
Mister?
Can
talking
I
a
say
bit too
something,
much. Go ahead, go
please?
ahead.
need what those people
Okay.
need is really very full revelation. Like, make sure that all of them will not come back to their constituency one by one. If that's happened when they come to their constituent and they're being pushed away, I'm sure by now they will sit down and think of the better way to handle situation like this. I don't know who are their media aides, who does all those work for them. I think those media aides are not even doing their job. I think they are just there sitting there, take money from those men without giving them a reasonable feedback on what is happening on their constituency one by one. So I think that is the problem. The problem is the people they employ, to see to those things and not giving them a realistic feedback on what is on ground, what is happening. This is not.
All
This
right,
is not that.
Mr.
Not
Majid,
the
I have
only.
to
Let
move
me
on to
say
some
something.
other person, please.
Yeah.
Is that Mr.
Um.
Collins?
Yeah, I want to say something about what Mr. Two Niger said. I think Mr. Two Niger, you like to play safe when it comes to issues in Nigeria because you like safe. Nigeria have been playing safe for like more than 61 years now. APSU have been playing safe, This is and that is why what get us where we are today. It's only in Nigeria where you see citizens can't even come out and protest when things are going wrong. So what you see other people when things are going wrong in their countries, the citizen will come out and protest. Some people will even stay outside for 2 months because they want to get that thing right. So the sacrifice that the ASU is doing now, for me, is not even what they are doing. I'm telling them they should keep doing it because what you are telling them now to go and negotiate with the federal government, maybe they start from somewhere. Then at the end of the day, they agree or something. Then you expect them in the next 2 years or 3 years again to come back and start discussing about this issue again. Now, for me, if we are going to trash this issue, even if it takes us to 2 years, at the end of that 2 years, let's get this thing right. Not maybe if every Nigeria, we watch what happened in Hong Kong years ago. The citizens come out to sacrifice their life, then protest over everything. Then most of them stay there for 2 months because of the protest. They want the good of their own country. So if it is going to take us to get the school, everything at the end of the whole 2 years, the Nigerian institution is going to put right. There will be a good where you go, you study a very good education grant for you. Everything will be putting right to you. People won't be sitting at the ground. Let me tell you, when I was in Nigeria, I passed throughout university. That time they'll be teaching you about computer, but there is no practical. There is nothing for you to use to do practical. Everything is on theory. You couldn't even know what they are teaching you. But you know, when I got here, it took me only even a month and then everything about computer because I am seeing what they are teaching me. I'm seeing it physical. It's there with me. But in Nigeria, it's all about theory, 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 theory. At the end of the day, somebody will graduate from school. He asks that person, what is the thing? That person, and they don't need to blame that person because everything is all about. There is no practical. Most people in Nigeria, there is no practical. So if it's going to take us to 5 years for us to get this thing right, let's get it right. So at the end of the day, the people that is going to come tomorrow will not be facing these challenges that we are facing today. So those are the sacrifices that we need to make as people today. We need to make that sacrifice. That's why I keep telling Nigeria today, you see this election. This election is not for Peter Obi. It's not for me. It's not for anybody. It's not for Niger Watch. It's for you because whatever you do in 2023 is going to something that is going to 8 years because all of us are crying. A mistake we made 2015. That is the mistake we are still crying today. So whatever we are doing today, it's better we get things right today than to suffer in future. If it takes me today to suffer, and in future I will start reaping it, that I will do it. Then maybe now I keep playing safe, 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 safe. I keep suffering. I don't like that kind of situation. All I'm just asking you when it comes to Nigeria situation, don't play safe. Come out the middle, say this is how things are supposed to do. Because federal government actually have been negotiating with Nigeria for how long now? They have been negotiating with them every time they give them maybe a portion of what they are asking for. Everybody will go. In the next 4 years again, people will still come back again and still asking for that thing. It's better we get it right this time. If it's going to take them 20 years to get it right, let's sacrifice ourselves for 20 years and get it right. That's my only two submission. Thanks.
All right, Mr. Collins, thank you for that. Mr. Collins, I'd like to ask you a question far away from this and on a lighter note. So, who did you vote for in 2015?
In 2015, I voted for Jonathan. And during that time, I told my people, don't vote for Buhari because there is nothing that Buhari can offer you. Because if you are going to bring a candidate who is going to enlighten Nigeria, not bringing somebody that Jonathan is better than, bring somebody who is better than Jonathan, not somebody that Jonathan is better for. And people were
All right.
clamoring for Buhari, clamoring for Buhari. What makes me leave Nigeria? Let me tell you the reason I left to Nigeria. When Buhari won election in 2015, he promised Nigeria that we should give him 6 months, 6 months to bring ministers. At the end of that 6 months, we waited for 6 months. Buhari went and bring Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed, that is why I know that Nigeria is not moving anywhere. I asked my brother, I said, I have to move. It's not moving anywhere.
Mr. Collins, thank you. You know, when the likes of you and other people talk about 2015, I usually will hear things like the mistake the mistake we made in 2050. So it looks like we have all agreed that oh please have mercy. I'll just allow some other person to talk and I turn off my screen and have a good laugh. Mr. Edelight, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing, Mr. Edelight?
I'm fine, my sister Emma. My panelists, I greet all of you now. Both people with the back home, Nigeria, abroad, and all that. Just a quick one because I will soon be leaving for work, Here it's not like Nigeria. If you don't pay your tax, you are in problem. You don't even think of it. So you have to go and work and pay your tax ahead. That is what they used to take care of the country, even when we were in COVID-19 and all that, you understand? So, and in all those things, all my brothers, Ima, or what you guys are saying, you guys really done well. And I pray that we should continue to support ourselves. Why? Because when we look back where we are coming from Nigeria, due to some circumstances, different circumstances that make everybody to leave Nigeria to come to abroad to come and work. Just imagine if we are working as we all Nigerians in Europe, in Western world now. all the work we are working, we do it in our country, I think Nigeria will be a better place. It's unfortunate that we don't have a good leaders. All those things we are just saying, all the problems, the asshole, the killings, everything, all of them point to the government. You understand? Because just like a father, if you cannot take care of your children, the children will just be abusing you, because you cannot take care of them while bringing them to this world. If I ask my president today, or any of Nigerians, including me, how many population do we have? We will be saying 2 million, 200 or something million, blah, 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 of which that cannot save us at all. So all those things they are doing, APC governments are just, I don't believe on them right from day one, because since where they enter government ruling us in Nigeria, there's no day we just wake up and say, today is the happiest day in Nigeria. Suffering, suffering, suffering. Look at the killing that is happening. When someone is going outside, going to work or going to daily activities, he will not know if he's coming back to see his children, if he's coming back to see his wife, if he's coming back to see his husband and all that. All those ones are under government. It's a government responsibility. I used to make reference to Western world where we are. My brothers and sisters that are in Western world, they understand how the government works. This guy, when we were in COVID period, I think Boris Johnson gave us every month you have to pay us for our daily needs, for our bills and all that. But just a little mistake, he organized a party, break the rule. That is why they are kicking. That is why they kick him out. And the evil apologize, and he does not have voice. But in Nigeria, it's another way around. You understand? The APC government, they take bad for good, and they take good for bad. So that is why I used to say that they are 419 parties, and it's time for us to push them out. And what just happened yesterday by organizing Christian whatever conference to make us believe that the Christians support Muslim. Who does that? That does not work in any country. If we are to be in Europe, in Western world, as they are coming, they will just be packing their bags, that kind of thing. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But in another hand, I'm so happy because it gives us the advantage. That is obedience family give us advantage, and we see what is really happening. Just imagine if Tinubu entered win the 23 presidential whatever. If he wins, that means we are in trouble. We have to take five pieces of wood to support, so that the Nigeria will not just fall down. You understand? So I don't take them serious, and all what is happening in Nigeria, both also killing, sickness, and all that, is under the government responsibility. Where we are now in abroad, everyone know. Even though you are suffering from one sickness or the other, you have to survive it. Why? Because they have hello. Hello.
I can hear
Mr.
you.
Delight,
Can you
we
guys
can
hear
hear
me?
you. Yes, we can hear you. Please go on. We can hear you.
Hello.
Mr. Delight. Okay,
Hello.
I think you need to fix your I think you
You
need to
can
fix
hear
your
me.
network, Mr. Edulite. I think you need to fix your network, Mr. Edulite. I'll be moving on to some other
Hello,
person
Mrs.
until
Sima. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear
Hello.
you. Yes, yes. Yes, I can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
Okay. So it's a pity we don't have a government. We don't have. What I have to say, just for us to exercise patience, because I know that everything will be fine. You understand? And not the
All
way
right.
just they bad. At a point it go dey fine. And wetin I go beg Mr. That is Obi, that is Mr. Obi, Peter Obi, is that when it comes there, you have to do one thing. One thing you have to, two things you have to do. You have to give us power, electricity, and you have to give us database so that we will know who comes to the country, who move out from the country, who we lost in the country. At the end of the day, we know the foreigners, the killings, and all that. Why I'm saying this is that when we are here in Europe or in abroad where we are, if you cough, they will know. You know, if you are sick, they will know, and all that. That is what we boast Nigeria to be a better Nigeria, to get our
All
better
right,
Nigeria.
Mr.
Thank you.
Idolai, thank you for your contribution.
Mm.
Thank you for joining today's broadcast. Thank you for always saying something to me in the comment section. I truly, truly do appreciate. Guys, please let's do the needful by liking this broadcast, sharing this broadcast, and inviting someone to this broadcast, guys. Please let's do the
Thank
needful. Mr.
Thank you.
NCB.
And one other thing, please, I'm sorry. One other thing, I will go out of line now because I want to drink my wine because I just get +1 yesterday. You know, it's advantage for be obedient.
Yay!
So I can't forget that.
Congratulations! Happy birthday to you. If I had a
No,
fantastic voice, I
no,
would have sang. But
I'm
because
not
I
doing
want
my
you to have a
birthday.
good day,
Uh,
you said
yeah, I'm
yesterday
not.
was +1 for you.
No, no, no. I say +1. What I mean is that the mistake APC did yesterday is +1 to
Okay,
our obedient. So that
okay,
is it.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Um, yes, you're always the one that is drinking wine whenever these other people flop or they show themselves, right, Mr. Idolite? You're the one that is always opening a bottle of wine.
Yes, yes, I'm the
All
one.
right, thank you for joining in today. Thank you for your contributions. Enjoy your wine. I'll move on to Mr. Nsibidi. Mr. Nsibidi, it's good to have you here again. I think this is the first time I'm having you this week, right, Mr. Nsibidi? Well, it's good to see you here. How are you doing, Mr. Nsibidi?
Yes, I'm doing fine, Shetima. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're welcome, Mr. Nsibidi. Have you been following the news or you'd like a recap of the discussion at the moment?
Yeah, I would really like, although I know about the side of this ASU and all that, but I would like if there's something
Yeah,
else.
we moved on. We moved on from that. We moved on from that. Now we are talking about the fake pastors and bishops that APC employed to come disguise yesterday at their unveiling of Shetima.
Yeah, thank you so much once again. But yeah, I know you moved on from that, but let me just very briefly say something about this ASU thing. And I had my brother Two Ninja talking and some other people, and unfortunately, but the brother Collins, I think it was Collins. I think he made a lot of sense. Said quite a number of things that I would have said, and. When we're talking about being logic, rational, and all that, I think I'm not taking a shot at to Niger, but at the same time, my opinion is that well, if you're trying to be rational, then I think rational means you should put yourself in the shoes of even the lecturers themselves. You know, that is what being rational is. You somehow feel like the lecturers are not part of the society. Those people have family members. They have children that are also grown up that are also being affected. Many of them, you might say, some of them maybe have their children somewhere else, but for the most part, they are all their own kids. Most of them are also having the same issues. So being rational means we have to also put ourselves in their shoes, and we should stop making excuses um, for the government, and they understand that without demonstration, protest, we cannot achieve anything. That is how it's done everywhere in the world. You're talking like what the other brother said. Even if it's going to take a longer time, or even if it's 2 years, whatever, let's make sure that this thing is done properly and it is sorted, because it's obvious that it's the lack of political will. We saw what the president announced the other day It was just like it's so sad because it's like someone trying to exempt himself from something that he is the head, and that he has actually, he has the final say regarding that matter. So let us understand that we must protest. This is our biggest problem as Nigerians. Nigerian, the people, they don't uh, you know uh, 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 they don't stand up to the government. They don't protest. We are not advocating for any violence, but you must march, you must protest, you must do anything necessary to to express your dissatisfaction, and also change anything that is not working properly. But I understand why it's like that most of the time is because of this proxy leadership and the buying of heads of, should I say, people that are in charge of specific, parastatals, or even just public figures. When you give some people some money, they'll be able to influence others. That's how they've been doing corruption in the entire country. So that's why you find out that when you rise up, the person that they have paid will go and organize some few people, they'll come and counter you. So it's just unfortunate, and that's how it is there. Then for the sorry, what are they called? The unknown bishops. They are unknown bishop because up to today they are still trying to find their real identity, to know which church and which it's very sad that there's no longer shame. I don't think there's ever been shame, but at least they've been trying to pretend that they are, they have some shame, but now it's just, people that look like, if you look at them, you definitely know. Even the lady that they say is a bishop, they're still trying to find out which bishop she is, because all the bishops are female bishops are known in the country. So they are wondering what bishop is this. Even the way she wore that bishop hat and everything. You know, my point is that it's clear that these people are playing games. They brought, I don't know, people from nowhere calling them bishop. But let's assume that they are even uh, real bishops, or maybe they are Christians, because we don't even know their faith, to be honest, all of them. Because these people can do anything. They've shown us that they can do anything. But let's assume that that's what they are. That does not mean that all the Christians all over the country have endorsed the Muslim ticket. Because at the end of the day, even Khan itself is disassociating themselves from those guys and what they are doing. And also, most people in the country, every single, including Muslims in APC, some of them are resigning. People are speaking out against it. Every single person that is thinking logically. So it's just quite unfortunate that these people are playing games. But unfortunately, um, I don't think it will work. Because even if Khan come out tomorrow and say that they have endorsed Tinubu, it will not work, because the time for all that has passed. The time for all that has passed. If Khan does that, everybody will turn against Khan. Everybody that is thinking properly will turn against Khan. So it's just a waste of. And to even make the matters worse, I was listening to the interview with, is it the organizing secretary of APC, his interview on Arise, and he even made reference to those fake unknown, or should we call them unknown bishop. Maybe they are not, maybe they have church, nobody knows, but he was making reference to them that they are clerics that came for the unveiling of Shetima. So that's to show you that it's something that they are aware of, and that should worry a lot of people. That should worry Nigerians, that it's not some people that are just crazy or psycho fans of Tinubu, or people that these are people that they clearly are known. Their visits or their attending that unveiling is known by APC leadership. something that should worry people. And we can see them. Nobody knows. I don't know if anything, if what they are showing on Instagram is anything to go by. Is it what's the name? Or Omokri? Although I don't buy the guy's politics, because him is just about anything that suits his his agenda, or the agenda of his principals. At the moment is what he does. But if all those things is showing is anything to go by, the man that is running for APC youth whatever leadership is the one that is there also disguising as a a cleric. So it's just so sad. It's very sad that unfortunately for them, it's not going to work, and it's not going to work. Yeah. So thank you, Sister Emma. Emma. Am I
Okay,
still?
Mr. NCBD, thank you. I was just about to say you said 5 minutes, Mr. NCBD. You guys don't forget, Monday to Thursday we have our discussions 5 p.m. Nigerian time, and on Fridays we have the debate 6 p.m. Nigerian time. And Monday to Saturday, you have me, your delightful host, Ima. Monday to Saturday for newspaper review, 10 a.m. Nigerian time, all through to 11 a.m. Nigeria time. You guys, we're not doing African time here, or you guys. It's supposed to be 11 a.m., but we span out to 12:30 sometimes, guys. Please don't forget, come out early so we can dissect the topics in good time and wrap up the show as intended. Irene Finest, shout out to you. Thank you for joining today's show. I am saying hello, and I cut cap for you, Irene. Thank you for joining today's broadcast. I really do appreciate. We have long past closing of this broadcast. Mr. Tunanger, your submissions to Nigerians, please.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. This
Sema,
was,
you didn't allow me to speak today.
you want to speak?
Please, who is speaking? What's your name?
Charles, I've been here
Mr.
since.
Charles, I thought I started the show with you first. I started the
No,
show with one Mr.
yeah,
Charles. That's why
I
I thought
came
it
in.
is you coming back into the show.
I
Forgive me,
came in,
Mr.
but I
Charles.
didn't. I came in, but I didn't speak.
Oh, but you
Only
didn't
that
say
yeah,
okay.
I was busy, so I left. I left.
Mr. Charles, if you want to go as much as 30 minutes, I am right here waiting for you to finish with your submission. I am so sorry. Please say what it is you want to say, Mr. Charles. Mr.
Okay,
Tonight, please, I'm sorry, I'll get back to you, please. Mr. Charles, please, you have the floor.
okay, okay. No problem. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. Yeah, at least I can speak at least up to 30 minutes. There's something I want to say here. Nigeria, we have this problem that we need to correct, because Nigeria is not different from every other country. That when things are not going well, they protest. I don't know why protesting has become a problem in Nigeria. You see, I listened to someone that spoke. He was trying to speak against the lecturers, and this is why they are doing. You see, I could remember that. You see, in Nigeria, our people used to say, when an abomination stays for a long time, it becomes it becomes as if it has become a normal thing. I could remember when I was in South Africa. Let me use this as an example. The Nigerian embassy came to the province where I stay. They want to take they want people to take passport. And remember I remember that Nigerian embassy, wherever they are going, government has paid their stay and everything. But these guys, they will all take advantage of the people there. And the Nigerians will always form a group and use the opportunity to take money from people, even if they don't care if the people have or they don't have. They will say, if you don't pay, you won't take passport. As if Nigeria embassy is for a certain group of people, as if they have authority over them, as if it is not for Nigeria. These guys are coming. Look, I was in Johannesburg. I live in Johannesburg that period. They came. I have money to take care of myself. But I formed a group of people. I told them, if you guys you didn't come here for a group of people. If you guys cannot
take everyone that have paid, carry your things and go, or we break it, the police will come here. It has never happened before, but it will appear in SABC, all the papers in South Africa, that you guys are taking advantage of people. Somebody have paid his passport and you people don't want to pay him. You people don't want to take him. Who is that man, that person that will stop anyone? I have paid for my passport. It's my right to take to be snapped. So they find out that, wow, these people, if they don't, they're going to cause trouble here. And these guys, they are avoiding, they don't want police, South African police, they don't want the press, they don't want anything to happen so that they will not appear because it will ridicule them. What they do, they corner so many of us. They told us, look, they snap us. And they want to do it. So I say, no, everybody must do it. Why I say this, in Nigeria, it has become a normal thing. Some people, when things are going wrong, even here in Australia, I wanted to do the same here because they came from Canberra. I live in South Australia. I told them I did this in South Africa and it worked. If they come here, some people were telling me, look, why are you doing this? You have the money. Why do you want to cause trouble? I say, look, this is a problem we have in Nigeria. Some people will think, oh, they have money. It's not affecting them. They can afford it. Wickedness, these people continue to carry on with wickedness. You see, Nigeria, it's high time. Let us stop like this attitude of us that it doesn't concern me. I can afford it. At least knowing that there are some people who are suffering. If all of us join hands together and say and call evil, evil, these people will know that they are doing evil. But when some slack, it looks as if there are some people that this thing is getting into their head. And this guy will take advantage of those people and deal with them. But when everyone stand on their ground, you see these people, they be shaking. This is the problem we have in Nigeria. I listened to that guy. Why are they thinking protest is the only way the government pay attention to the cry of the masses, to the pain and the tears of the masses? Protest. It happens in Sri Lanka. So it has happened in so many places. I don't know why Nigeria today, our students, our children are not studying. Our leaders their children are in overseas. They will go there, they take picture with them during their graduation, they put it in the social media. We clap for them. In a civilized society, this cannot happen. If it happened that day, that person is going to resign from that seat. The masses will come out of the road, block the road, ask him, why is our institution not working? Your own children is in overseas. But in Nigeria, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And it will continue because some people feel that they can afford. The people think, these people, I can go to Ghana, I can go to anywhere and study, I can afford. This is the problem Nigeria is having. I pray that Peter Obi, when he win election, he will look into all these things. And Nigerians also will form that habit of saying no to wickedness with one mind. And not some people are there, some people are not there. Thank you, my sister. This is all I want to say.
All right, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Charles. And I am so sorry about that. That wasn't deliberate at all, Mr. Charles. And I know that you know this. Mr. Tunanja, please your submissions.
Thank you. I'm glad I took part in the discussion. I think that sooner or later we have to start looking at results. I think the way we are looking at it is that, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Tunanja.
Yes, I think we need to look at it from the point of view of results. I understand the impulse to protest and unfairness. That is fine. I don't have any problem with that. But you have to do it in a way that doesn't at least compromise your actual objective. You can't tell me you want to save my life and you want to use my life for sacrifice at the same time. It's not logical. You see what I mean? You are saying you are trying to save the university students, but you are sacrificing them at the same time. We have to ask that hard question. As much as we support the strike, we have to ask, why are you sacrificing the same people that you claim to be fighting for? Secondly, If you are doing anything in life and the results keep coming back bad, you should be asking yourself, why are you doing it? If you, let's say the law accuses you of something, and let's say you have a school, the law accuses you of something, and you call your lawyer to come and represent you, and the lawyer goes and represents you. 2 months time, you still require the lawyer. 3 months, 1 year time, you require the lawyer to come. The case keeps coming back over and over again. The police keep coming after you. You keep paying the lawyer to go after the police, and in the end, the police is coming after you. They are getting bribed, and you still get to pay the lawyer. Who is losing out here? You are the one losing out. Your school is losing out. Your students are not getting anything. Sooner or later, you're going to fire that lawyer. You're going to be like, this is an endless pit of this thing. It's a scam that you're using to collect money from me. That is the logic I want Nigerians to be looking at here. This is not, if this strike was just happening today, I would say, fine, I will support it. If the strike was just happening yesterday, I would say, this is something I've seen in Nigeria since the 80s. And I've seen it with the unions. They've compromised our systems in the name of protest. And they try to compare things that are not logical. This is not normal. You can't say teachers have to be paid the same as every other professor, or there is always injustice in society. It's always been like that. If you want to fix that problem, you can fix it at a higher level, but don't use that as an excuse or as a kind of a way to get people support to go on strike constantly and not get results. Because the result, if we are going by the results, it has been terrible. They destroyed our educational system. The decay now is so bad that even when people are going to school, they are thinking twice that, oh my God, I don't know whether I'll graduate. One of their mind is always out of the door. They are not even focusing on education. Can you imagine if you're a professor or you're a lecturer or you want to go into that profession? You don't want to go into that profession because you think, oh, this is going to be a strike profession. Let me find something else. The decay is not only in just the damage they are doing to the students, it permeates everywhere. And the unions, if you want to protest for something, you have to protest for something. I believe it's a sin. It's really a sin to take a position of leadership and you go and keep failing the people over and over again. You have to pay for that. Why? We don't have a culture of accountability. This is what other people understand very well. There's a reason why the Japanese have the harakiri. The Romans talk about falling on your sword. Nigerians and our people don't understand sacrifice. They don't understand having to pay for failure. And we have to start making people pay for failure. And this is why we keep accepting decay over and over again. Because people don't pay when they fail. Sooner or later, that has to return. If it doesn't return, we are doomed. Because we are just going to set any standard. Anything works. If you fail, oh yeah, we'll do more. If you fail, we'll do more. So where is the accountability in all this? How many decades of protests? Where is our education system in the toilet? And the same as we still coming back, we should be supporting them. It's not logical. That's my submission.
All right, Mr. Tinaja, thank you. Mr. Collins, please. Mr. Collins? Mr. Kennedy?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to ask my brother to Niger if it is possible for you to talk to the federal government to fulfill their part of the bargain. I think that would be very appreciated because I think they are the side that has not fulfilled their part of the bargain. I don't know where the ASU has erred. ASU, they are workers, so, and they've done their best. That was a negotiation. They negotiated and they had a deal. The federal government refused to own up to their part of the bargain. That's what I see there. And secondly, just very quickly, I think that was in 2014 or 2015, Jonathan said, you cannot give what you don't have. Don't set this country ablaze. If some of you here now are privy to what Jonathan said, then you cannot give what you don't have and don't set this country ablaze. Because the Christians were very tolerant. That is why you don't see too much problems in the country. If it were to be the other way around, I think the Muslims, you would have seen protests. If you go to impersonate their imam and their prophet, you see what is going to happen. I think I salute the Christian too, for being tolerant. You see, you can't, pick people from the street and they put on those dresses that make them look like masquerade, and they masquerade themselves as bishops, and that is impersonation. I think Tinubu and the other guys should be sued, or they should be cautioned. So that's what I see there. They should not set this country ablaze, our country ablaze. We don't have any other place to run to. That is the only place we have. So there has to be peace, there has to be equity and justice, so that we always have a place to call home. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you for that submission. Mr. Collins, are you back? All right, moving on. I'll go to Mr. Majid. Please, your submission to Nigerians.
Yes. My submission, first of all, Mr. Teenager, I don't know, I don't know why you always emphasize this thing on. You keep making this emphasis on lecturers and stuff like that. But one thing I want you to know is that impunity started from somewhere and it will end somewhere. Negligence started from somewhere and it will end somewhere. You know, there is many things Nigeria has overlooked for so long, and it has to start, looking into them. If not, it will turn to culture. So I don't subscribe to your ideology on how these things are being done. I don't subscribe to that. Whatever happening is not the fault of lecturers. Let me tell you, the people that are supposed to protest is the children who sit on the floor to write. The people who are supposed to protest those things that lecturers are doing supposed to be the students who are not getting enough equipment to study, who are not getting
Mr.
all the
Majid,
necessary
please.
things.
Mr.
Yeah,
Majid, please.
yeah.
This
I
is
just
the
want
time
to
where
reply.
you
That's
just
my
give your
submission.
submission to
Yeah,
Nigerians.
that's
Our
my
time is
submission.
low. So please.
I just want to reply him. That's my summit. I just want you to know that you can't keep on blaming the lecturers because what they are doing is for the good of every other person. You can't keep blaming them. For me, I think what they are doing is the right thing. They should continue doing it because my brother, if we don't do something, we are going to continue seeing this strike every time. So I want them to continue, and I believe that one day they will hear our cry. All this impunity will stop, and it will
All
stop.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm moving on to Mr. Collins. This will be the last call to you. Are you back? Okay, Mr. Ansibidi, please.
Yes, thank you again. Well, I think we have said everything. For Two Nigeria and every other person that holds the same view is, you see, the lecturers are not robots. They are not people that, these are people that also need workplace dignity. When people are talking about mental health and workplace mental well-being and everything, why do you think that the lecturers are immune to those kind of things? Okay, the among their two requests, I think they have more, but the ones I think that are at the front, the main topic, I think they are talking about uh, improving the standard of education and facilities and everything. Then also they're talking about their payments of their salary through the is it through the union transparent university transparency and something accountability, you know, medium. Because I think some of us don't even understand fully why the people are going on strike when we are speaking, some of us. So when if you're saying that okay, one part of it is something that they can overlook, maybe they should overlook students that are learning under deplorable conditions and with lack of uh, uh, um, access and resources to to even learn properly. And what about the salary issue? So we cannot excuse the government in every way. And at the same time, these lecturers, they are not robots that have been programmed. These are people that have family, that have children. Many of them, or some of them, don't have another means of income. So when we are making all these statements about the lecturers, you must understand that that is also how they feed their family. That is how they take care of their people. So we need to just not. We should stop, painting this whole thing and make sure and just encourage or keep speaking truth to power. You know. Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Ansibidi, thank you for your submission. I'd like to take a few. I'd like to take a few from the comment section. Someone says that. Okay, now this is in reference to the answers. One of the panelists talked about, they've not been serious about it. They are not protesting and all of that. And we have people here who come out and say, remember answers. People always make reference to. The first week was peace with the first week was peaceful with security agencies cooperating until bad people hijacked it and start burning facilities and looting. So the reasons why you are not seeing students out there on the streets, because I mean, of course, they are scared for their lives. Of course, they are scared for their lives. NLC wanted to protest, and the police wrote to them and said that um they need to write to the police first, not just writing, and it needs to be approved, of which NLC, had plans to damn them and just go on what they wanted to do. Until presidency came out to say that NLC solidarity strike is illegal. So I mean, that's them fighting them. Not they don't want them to come out and do the protest. So it's one of the reasons why you don't have people on the road. Irene Finance says it is absolutely disrespectful. The act was so shameful. How desperate is APC? They want power by force. This is her talking about the this thing that happened yesterday, the costume wearing prophets, pastors, and all of that. I'm talking about that. Should we be expecting legal actions taken out on APC for doing that? For doing that, one would think that would be next thing for them to do. Or yeah, there the news APC, no, not APC, Khan has come out to say that they mean what they said and they are sticking to their guns on this one. And Jace Morgan says Adbury protested when he was looking for power. If GEJ had handled power the way Buhari is handling power, Buhari wouldn't have become the president. We all know that basic human rights is you don't even have such freedom of expression here in this country. You have to protect your tongue at all times. ASU will get paid after the strike, but students will not get their time back. The soldiers dying for us go on strike to protect us. This is okay. Yes, I was going to say this is the same ideology as to Niger. And why the teenager is also asking, why are the professors any better than people willing to die for us? So Nigeria's stand of point is that there are people who are doing this. They've given out their life, like the military, like the doctors. Okay, no, the military. We never hear the military say that they are going on strike. They keep pushing on to something better. Well, I think that's why the military is still like that. I think that is why the military is still like that. And it is different with them because you don't question authorities. You don't question authorities. Okay, guys. I'll take this last one from Johnson Emmanuel. No, that's still talking about. Okay, Johnson Emmanuel. It says people being scared is an excuse. Worldwide, police always fight with protesters, including the most advanced countries. So, Johnson Emmanuel, you have the opinion that people should still do what it is that they have to do, not back down, and that will be more bloodshed. I don't know if we are that patriotic enough again. Well, I don't know what to say regarding this. I wouldn't want to, use my opinion on this. But guys, thank you for today. Thank you for today's thank you for doing newspaper review with me. It was really nice to have each and every one of you here. But guys, please, I don't know what's up with today's people. When I know they like broadcast, and I know they share, and I know they invite. What thing they really happen, my people? Do YouTube not charge people for liking videos? If they do, please let us know. Bring it to our notice so that we'll know what is really, really happening. I'm sorry, Mr. Ledger. I can see that you want to gain access into the studio, but we've come to the close of today's segment. Thank you to Nigeria. Thank you to Tribes. Thank you to Mommy Diaspora. Thank you to Irene Finest. Thank you to Esosa. Thank you to Johnson Emmanuel. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining to this broadcast. Thank you to Mr. Edolite. Thank you to 2NG. 2NG and 2 Nigeria. Are you guys the same? Are you guys the same person? I'd like to know. Thank you to Machiavelli. Thank you to James Morgan. Thank you to Ose. Thank you to Omede. Thank you. Let me use the other name. Thank you to Michael. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining. You've been very, very engaging. And I hope someday you get on the platform so that we talk together. 1KJ Kingsley, guys, I can't keep scrolling up, but thank you so very much, guys. Please, let's come out early tomorrow, 10 a.m. Nigerian time. I'll be right here waiting for you with the headline news. It's been such an honor. It's been such a privilege to host this, and I'm glad. It's good. Then to every one of my panelists, thank you very much for joining to this broadcast. It's good having each and every one of you. Mr. Charles, I am sorry about what happened today. I'll take note of that. I think I have like more than 3 Mr. Charleses here. I'll see what we can do about that so I don't keep missing this up. Thank you very much to each and every one of you guys. Please don't give up. Get your PVC, your votes count, and don't be used. Don't be used. Look at the shameless set of people that allow to themselves to abuse the bishopric office. People are allowing politicians to use you people spiritually. Now, because of 100K or 40K, you can't go carry another one. Put for it. Imagine if someone places a curse on you guys for doing that, for insulting that office. You know what will happen? And nobody would have tried this with an imam. I don't know what the PFN or CAN are doing about this, but I don't think that they should allow, these people do this to us. No, I don't think. No, this is just going over the board. But later this evening, this topic and many much more we'll talk about it, guys. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, guys. God really, really bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I pray that God will help us in this coming election and until the election, until the incoming of a new government. May God uphold us. Save us from what is happening in Nigeria. I know that the people that these things are happening to, they are also praying, but really, guys, we can't give up. We just have to keep praying and doing the other part, right? I pray that Nigeria doesn't happen to each and every one of you guys, man, right now. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.